Now, you. More. Come on. The more you bet, the more you win. Don't pressure him. Maybe I should bet it all.
Return next Monday with an all-new episode. Now stay tuned for a Fox Sports special presentation.
Welcome to the Chevy MLB pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution.
It's Game 5 of the NLCS, and Houston in this city is ready to explode in the 44-year history of the franchise. Not once have they appeared in a World Series. Now they're one game away. The pitching matchup is Chris Carpenter against Andy Pettitte. But before we get to this game, let's take a moment to congratulate the American League champion Chicago White Sox.
The White Sox have won the pennant. Jose Contreras goes all 9, and the White Sox are going to the World Series.
We return to the scene of the crime. This is how it looks. Well, sort of. A reenactment of a double dip of astronomical proportions. Jeannie Velasco, I'm Kevin Kennedy. Stop me if you've heard this before. The Astros are one win away from their first World Series appearance. 2 Cardinals tossed from Game 4. Will the entire team be shown the door tonight? Did we see meltdown or motivation yesterday?
I think motivation. If the guys can turn it as quick as those 3 guys did in the outfield right now, it might be over for the Cardinals. But in reality, they've got a good, solid ball club. I think Tony La Russa will be motivated. But what we're talking about, the ejections last night in the 7th inning, the pitch to Berkman, Tony La Russa says that ball is a strike. Be consistent with the strike zone. Phil Cousy had enough of it. And then Jimmy Edmonds, right at the top of the 8th inning, the same thing happened. One was a ball to Berkman, one was a strike to Edmonds. Looked like identical location right there. And all you ask for is consistency from your umpires. And let's take a look at the split screen.
They've been consistent. Consistently
bad.
inconsistent.
I know where you're going, Jeannie. Edmonds on the right, Berkman on the left. You can see the pitcher's identical right there. You know, sometimes umpires have problems, and there is some inconsistency, and that's where the catcher has to kind of work with the umpire, talk to the manager. But, you know, the emotions were there from inning 1 on, and it caught up to Tony La Russa. But, you know, he's going to get his ball club ready. You know, the bottom line is the Astros are outplaying him right now. They're out-pitching him, and they got Brad Litch at the end, and that great double play turned by Bruntlett to finish it off. And Mabry couldn't get down the line.
All right, well, that game, as bizarre as the Astros season, it is fitting. The win that puts them on the brink of history was the biggest play in franchise history. It's our Sharp Aqua More to See moment.
And the pitch. Ground ball right side. They're not going to be able to turn 2, or are they? Throw is in time.
There's always more to see here in the postseason. We have to show you that double play again. I mean, that really was an incredible double play. You know, and the thing is, Phil Garner took Biggio out and put Bruntlett in for defense. An excellent defensive pick. Player, number 9 pick out of Stanford University years ago. That's what he's in the big leagues for. His defense, good utility player, gets the turn. And actually, Phil Garner moved him in a little bit, saying, I don't know as deep as he was right there, that he could turn the double play. Just by moving a guy in a couple of feet, it made a difference at the end. They got Mabry by a half step.
Yeah, the reenactment not the same. The sequel just never lives up to the original. After Sunday's win, the Astros owner Drake McClain joked he had one very important item on his agenda today. I'm going to that church up the street from the ballpark and pray until the game starts. While he's there, he might want to say a few words of thanks for the effort of the man Patrick O'Neill caught up with this afternoon.
All right, Jeannie, thank you very much. Phil, you started a number of 4-6-3 DPs back in your day, but, man, that was quite a double play to end the game there.
It was indeed. I can't think of a better double play that I've ever seen. Of course, it's one thing to turn a great double play when the game's perhaps 6-1 or 7-1. It's a regular season game, and they're important. But in a game of this magnitude, to turn that double play was phenomenal last night. Everybody had to be perfect. There couldn't have been a glitch anywhere along the way. They did a fantastic job.
You made some great moves at the end of that game. You got Bruntlett in there in second base, and you got Taveras out there in the outfield to make that great play. Now, when this team was 15-30, you were managing with your gut. It wasn't working. Now you're managing with your gut, and you're a genius.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's what they're saying.
Well, I don't know. The key is the players, and when we were at our lowest point, one of the great things that we had is fantastic leadership from our veteran players. They didn't let the kids quit. The kids didn't know when to quit.
It's no secret this team is struggling scoring runs, Phil, and you got Carpenter tonight. What's the approach going against him?
Well, if I was genius, I'd be able to figure that out. We have struggled scoring runs. Can't deny that. It's just part of the fabric of this ball club. It doesn't seem to be something that stymies us too bad, because here we are, we won 3 ball games, and so sooner or later we'll pick it up and we'll score a bunch of runs. I'd hope to see that tonight, but if not, we have another tight ball game. I'm sure Andy Pettit will keep us close, and our bullpen keep us close, and we'll do the things necessary to stay in the game.
All right, well, you're doing a great job. Thanks very much for the time, Phil.
Thanks.
All right, well, the Astros have won 7 straight playoff games here at Minute Maid. Certainly 8 would be enough to get them to the World Series. Jeannie?
Even by my math, I would say that's right. Yes, thanks, gentlemen. What a difference a controversy makes, from public enemy #1 to starring role in the creation of a new White Sox nation. Just another day in the life of A.J. Pierzynski. The torrential downpour in the Sox clubhouse last night. A torrential downpour in SoCal today. We ask, could Chicago have cleansed the soul of Shoeless Joe? We ask, who else? A.J.'s coming up next.
Christian Troy, you are under arrest for the murder of Ray Reynolds. You don't really think Christian is the carp, do you?
Nip Tuck, all new this week, only on FX. You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD, and presented by DirecTV.
Little Caesars Hot and Ready Pizza. What do you think?
No calling ahead, no waiting, no limits. I really learned something today.
You get a gold star. Little Caesars large $5 pepperoni pizza. Always hot out of the oven, ready when you are.
Pizza, pizza.
Welcome back to the Progressive Direct Classic, where Greg Greenfield has a perfect game through 8 frames.
Yes. There's a reason Progressive hasn't sponsored bowling. We tend to make everything easy. That's why we provide our car insurance rates plus our competitors, even if we're not the lowest. What could be easier?
Just look at that extension.
Think easier. Think Progressive.
I was thinking about getting a French dip. Wow, we're gonna need 2 cars.
At only $2.99, Arby's French dip is sure to be on a lot of minds. We're talking freshly sliced roast beef on a toasted French roll, along with a side of hot savory au jus for dipping. All for just $2.99. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Little Caesars Hot and Ready Pizza! What do you think?
It's always hot and ready! Just fly in and fly out!
Drop in anytime. Little Caesars large $5 pepperoni pizza. Always hot, always ready.
Pizza, pizza.
I promise that Chevy Trailblazer has more standard horsepower than Ford Explorer.
Plus, OnStar and StabiliTrak.
A combination Ford and Toyota don't offer.
Trailblazer from Chevy.
The #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now, GM employees can lease an 06 Trailblazer LS 2-wheel drive for $169 a month. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
That's a Chevy total value promise.
Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealer today.
MLB on Fox Championship Series is brought to you by your Detroit Chevy dealer. Chevy drives the Motor City.
Clean up on aisle 3.
House is TV's unlikeliest new hero. Can't we just agree that you're incredibly annoying? He's medicine's most brilliant mind.
Get the crash cart. He's having a cardiac arrest.
And the hospital's toughest case.
Are you being intentionally dense?
Huh? House returns with all new episodes Tuesday, November 1st on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
World-class boxing ignites on FSN. Former champ Vernon Forrest and Elko the Animal Garcia will square off live in the best damn fight night period. This week, live on FSN.
Welcome back to the Chevy MLB pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. 16,825 days.
There's a tired manager, but, you know, really happy. That's a plain flight you want to take right
That's
there.
how long it's been since the last time the White Sox clinched an American League pennant. And check out Jerry's new teddy bear. It's great. I don't think he's let it go since.
You mean the trophy? He slept with that on the plane. I don't think anybody slept with that plane.
Can't blame him. Ozzie, get a chance to work the crowd. That's why you look fresh after a red-eye flight, because you get to bring the trophy home. Again, I said 16,825, but who's counting? You better believe they are in Chicago. Believe the operative word. Last year, the Red Sox, could the shade of preference be white in 2005? At least they've got a champ. For now, the city's partying like it's 1917.
The White Sox have won the pennant.
It's been tough. It's been tough on everybody. It's been here for like 3 days straight.
When I was 5 years old, my grandmother used to take me out to the ball game, the Sox game. I'm 60. For 55 years, I've been going out there. It's about time.
Oh, it's wonderful. I can't believe it. I hope they get it.
It's great. Long overdue.
$1 and $18 million.
We're talking 1918, the championship last year, of course, that long for the
Jeannie,
Red
can you
Sox.
read that,
Followed by
Arcadia State
1917. What are the chances we can understand this, let alone reverse the curse, 2 curses back to back?
Well, you see the chance. $1 and $18 million. I mean, it's incredible. I can't even read that, Jeannie.
We render
AJ, in the middle of everything, game 2. We know all about this play now. Setting up the winning run right here. Heads up play by AJ Przinsky. Umpire agrees with you right there. Steve Finley, catcher's interference, he says. Steve Finley, you were right, but AJ got the call on this one as well. And then AJ, for good measure, says, you know what, I'm going to go deep the 3rd time in the postseason, make the score 5-1. And then, of course, last night, Kelvin Escobar, no tag, says AJ Przinsky. He didn't have the ball on me. You're right again.
He is just a guy doing his job very well, I might add. Somehow AJ Przinsky finds his way into the spotlight. Definitely into our show. I thought I talked you out last week. You keep running for more. It is working, so I guess keep doing it. What is the excitement like in Chicago today?
It's unbelievable. Just walking around with my family and seeing everyone coming up and congratulating us and saying good luck, and seeing the people last night or this morning actually about 6:30 when we got off the plane, and there was a couple thousand people out there waiting for us. It's incredible, and they're really excited.
AJ, when you came to Chicago, did you realize you'd be in the middle of some controversial plays and then have 3 home runs in the postseason and then catch a great pitching staff and take them all the way to the World Series?
Well, I knew I'd be in the middle of controversy, Kevin. You know, that's just me. But the home runs, I doubted. And I knew we had a great staff in spring training. We had a chance to be really good. No one could have predicted they'd go out and throw 5 games in the NLCS the way they did. You know, 4 straight complete wins is unheard of, and it's something you probably never see happen again.
All right, from one malcontent to another, can you take us behind the scenes of what it's like out there? We watch the decisions, whether Ozzie's going to keep them in there, they're going for the complete game. Does he talk with you at all about that? How does that whole process shake down?
Ozzie has so much confidence in these guys, and he's been like that all year. He's stuck with them, and he's not afraid to let them go out there for 115, 120. And the only thing he ever asks me is how do they look, and I give him an honest answer. If I think they're done, I'll say they're done, and if they're going great, I'll say, hey, they can finish this, and let them finish it. And, you know, Freddie and Jose, he speaks to him in Spanish a lot, so I don't really understand what he's saying, but I can usually get the gist of it, and Cooper keeps me filled in. But the other 2 were throwing so good, there was never a thought to take either one of those guys out.
AJ, when you clinch early like you did against Boston and basically in 5 games against the Angels, and your bullpen hasn't been used so much, what do you do the next few days leading up to the World Series on Saturday? Do you have some simulated games for those guys?
Yeah, we're actually, I think, going to have one probably Wednesday, Thursday. We got to get those guys some innings. None of them pitched. Koch threw, what, 7 pitches in the ALCS? He was the only guy we used, so he might be a little broken down. But other than that, the rest of the guys are ready to go, and they're itching to go. I mean, they don't have a lot of they got to go to the ALCS, and they basically bought tickets and got to watch from the bullpen, the best seat in the house. So, you know, they were excited. They were happy. They weren't disappointed at all. That's what's great about this team. And we have till Wednesday to get ready until we start working out. Ozzie gave us 2 days off. That was our incentive to get it done early. Is we get 2 days off to spend and relax.
Probably not the only motivation. All right, this time last year, you were kind of doing our job. You were media, so you know we're looking for something to hang our hat on. 1918 last year, 1917 this year. You guys talk about that at all? Any mystique there for you? Help me out. You were media last year, right?
You know what? It's something that the media has generated because the only way I know it's 1917 is from people talking about it in 1959 from that song they play all the time, the Go, Go, Go White Sox song.
I'm sorry, how does that go? You want to sing us a little bit?
I can't sing. No, I'm not going to embarrass myself that bad. But you know what? It's great, though, because the fans really do get caught up in it. And 1959 was a long time ago, but there's still a lot of people out here in Chicago that remember that, and they've been fans a long time and haven't seen a team in Chicago in the World Series. So they're loving it, and they're uncontrollably excited. It's great.
All right, we'll see you in the World Series.
Thanks. I can't wait.
It's the way the Go-Go White Sox got it done, Jeannie. It's the starting pitching. Incredible 4-1 record.
For me either, are you?
It's unbelievable.
You're not going to sing for me either, are you? All right.
4 complete games. The way the Sox got it done, and we haven't seen that in 50 years. I mean, it's really incredible. I'm not going to do it, Jeannie. I'm not going to do it.
More stats. It is very cool.
First time in the LCS history, 4 consecutive starters have completed 4 games like that. I mean, the Yankees did it in the World Series in 1956, but to see the way the White Sox did it, you don't see guys complete games anymore. The Angels, for example, had 3 complete games all season.
All right. Hey, Chicago, 46 years is long enough. The World Series is coming back. We worked it out. This Saturday, Fox proud to bring it to you. Game 1 of the Fall Classic, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I know you're going to be there. Coming from the rubble of a 15-30 start to this.
He's back.
Houston's 1 victory away from the first World Series with 3 chances to do it. Jim Edmonds is going to do his speaking with his bat tonight. I'm pretty sure about that.
The postseason has always had its defining moments. Expect the unexpected. It's time to define the moment.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm waiting.
Come on, let's go.
Where?
Over there. What's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry, you know what a skid plate is for? Off-road stabilizer bars? A locking rear differential? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jerry!
Chevy Silverado, an American Revolution.
Is that your new Sprint phone?
Uh-huh. With Sprint's new fair and flexible plans, no one can tell me what to do. I can talk when and how I want. It's my little way of sticking it to the man.
But you are the man.
I know.
So you're sticking it to yourself.
Maybe.
Sprint's new fair and flexible plans. With no huge overages or roaming charges, you control your plan. It doesn't control you. Plans start at just $29.99 a month. Sprint, yes you can.
Nothing outperforms Gillette M3 Power Nitro. Push the button and feel the boost in performance. Gillette's battery-powered motor sends micropulses to the patented Power Glide blades. Get unsurpassed comfort and the world's best shave. M3 Power blows away the competition. You'll be blown away or Gillette will give you your money back, guaranteed. Try Gillette M3 Power, the world's best shave, or your money back.
It's a fact. The more we learn about how to take care of ourselves and our families, the longer and healthier our lives become. That's why more people turn to WebMD than any other health information source. It's a place where people find answers to health questions with an ease never before possible, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can finally forge a link between better information and better health. WebMD.
The Chevy MLB pregame show is sponsored by WebMD. Better information, better health. By Sprint. Sprint, yes you can. And by Chevy. Chevy and baseball, they just go together. An American Revolution. Tonight on Fox, Andy finds a bat. He didn't have to do that with the Yankees. What he did do, 6 times got him to the World Series. Came back to his hometown to make something happen, home state.
Yeah, and he's healthy now. You know, he got his leg hit by a line drive in batting practice the other day. It really was pretty swollen. Nobody really said much about that. I mean, he didn't. He went out there and pitched. I think you're going to see a better Andy Pettitte tonight.
Needed those legs, but the Cardinals need somebody to turn the tide. I can't think of a better guy to send on the mound.
Right guy. He's going to win a Cy Young Award. Chris Carpenter's a true ace. He's pitched great in the postseason. There's a curveball right there. Good 4-seam fastball. Riding 2-seam to go with it. Pettitte, in the postseason historically, first in start to 33, 199 innings pitched. I mean, that's a season, Jeannie, and second all-time in wins to just John Smoltz. John Smoltz 15, Andy 14, and there it is right there. But what I like about the Cardinals' chances tonight, Chris Carpenter 2-0 with a 1.29 in the postseason, saving some bullets in the postseason because he wanted to be here. We talked to him the other day about that. He said, yeah, don't worry about me down the stretch. I was trying to save a little bit. for right now. Well, there's no bigger time for Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals than tonight.
Series heading back to St. Louis?
I think so, because I think they're very resilient, but they're not hitting right now. Eckstein's got to get on base. Pujols they're not going to pitch to. Somebody behind, you know, Reggie Sanders again is going to hit behind Albert Pujols, and he's got to be the guy probably to step up once again.
Last chance, little go-go socks?
No. I'll sing a little quarter to three, a little Sinatra.
I tried. Can you do the buzz sound of the bees?
I'll do a little Sinatra.
All right, time to get down to the ball game. Sorry, Kev, we don't have time to hear Sinatra. The Chevy pregame show on Fox goes live to Houston for Game 5 of the NLCS.
Well, he went down to dinner here in Sunday best. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy. After 10 long years, they let him out of the home. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy.
This government's FCC is trying to take all the violence, all the sex, and all the nudity away from television. Hi, Dad. Go to your room. Okay. Well, I say it's wrong. These things are part of the fabric of Fox Sunday.
November 6th, all new episodes return that are wilder than ever.
To get me, you'll have to go through your phone.
Oh, those were my good pants.
I can see you like costumes with sequins. If you quit the play, I'll take you to a strip club.
All new adventures.
I hope you saved room for with caramel sauce.
All new life or death encounters.
We gotta get this guy to surgery stat.
You guys are gonna get sued.
And the all-new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Fox Sunday, never afraid to be freaking sweet.
All new episodes start Sunday, November 6th with King of the Hill at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Fox.
Dr. Temperance Brennan is a forensic anthropologist.
Female, blunt trauma to the skull.
Sidney Booth is an FBI agent.
You had means, you had motive, you had opportunity. I didn't kill her.
Now, the only way these two can work together
Are you going to help?
I would, but this is a $1,200 suit.
Are you kidding me?
is over someone's dead body.
That is for self-defense.
What if I have to shoot? What part of his body should I hit?
Part that isn't me.
The new hit Bones, all new Tuesday, November 1st on Fox.
In 1979, the Steelers win the Super Bowl. In 1979, My Sharona hits #1. But what's the biggest event of 1979?
If you were feeling blue, I would have made you a martini.
Kitty gets busted.
What's so funny?
Is it the big head thing?
That 70s Show, the 1-hour season premiere, Wednesday, November 2nd on Fox.
It's an electric atmosphere at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. It's Game 5 of the National League Championship Series. And the Astros tonight with a chance to put it on ice, leading 3-1. And a pleasant good evening to you. I'm Tom Brenneman, welcoming you as always to playoff baseball here on Fox. It was 45 years ago today in Chicago that the Houston franchise was born. In 44 seasons, they have never been to a World Series. Now, they're 1 win away. The St. Louis Cardinals have played in 16 World Series, and Bob Brenly to try and make it 17. The very difficult task of beating Andy Pettitte, Roy Oswalt, and Roger Clemens 3 straight games.
Well, they'll worry about the other two guys after tonight. This is a must-win game. We throw that term around an awful lot in baseball. For crying out loud, I heard guys talking about must-win games in June. This truly is a must-win game. I mean, the Cardinals steamrolled the Central Division this year. They swept the division series, but they find themselves up against the wall tonight. And who better to have on the mound than Cy Young candidate Chris Carpenter? 21 victories during the regular season. He was a combined 5-0 with a 1.91 ERA against the Astros this season. If you've got one game that you must win, this is the guy Tony La Russa wants on the mound.
You hear the term, you have games to play with. That is certainly something Houston knows absolutely nothing about, Steve Lyons. last year and again this year just to qualify for the playoffs. They had to win just about every single night over the last 2 or 3 months of the season.
Yeah, they had a lot of those must-win type games for the last month and a half just to get here. And now they can relax with a 3-1 lead. You can go out there and play aggressive baseball. But unfortunately, some teams take the mindset that, hey, we have a couple games to play with. You go out and lose those games. And that's why you have to point to the veterans on this team. Namely, the starter tonight, Andy Pettitte, the best second-half pitcher in all of baseball. In his last 20 starts, he's 14-2 with an ERA of right around 1.5. And then the other guys in this club. Of course, Roger Clemens signed here to bring a championship to this town. And the old grizzled veterans, Biggio with 18 years in the organization, Bagwell with 15. Those guys can smell it. They can taste it. They know they're one win away from a place this organization has never been.
This town has been bubbling all day long, and they are ready to roll in Game 5. 45 years ago, the building of the Astrodome, heartbreak in 80, again in 86, and then last year, losing Game 7 at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Now, this Houston franchise, after dropping Game 1 of this National League Championship Series, has won 3 in a row, including the last 2 here in Houston. They'll give the ball to a native son, Andy Pettitte. Tony La Russa and company hand it to Chris Carpenter. First pitch is next on Fox.
With so much more to see, shouldn't you be watching it on the Aquas Liquid Crystal television from Sharp?
Okay, so you shave early, but your date isn't until 7 p.m. So what do you think your beard's doing? Taking a nap? It's not. That's why there's Schick Quattro Midnight. With 4 blades, nothing shaves closer, keeping you smooth into the night. Schick Quattro Midnight. Nothing beats the power of 4. And try the new Schick Quattro Power for a less irritating shave than your current razor. New Schick Quattro Power. Turn on the power of 4.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. That is he know he won't have it, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself.
If you haven't seen television's most exciting new thriller, now is the perfect time to get on board.
Getting through this wall is just the beginning.
Prison Break returns 1 week from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
The League Championship Series on Fox is sponsored by the Sharp Aquos. There's more to see. By Pepsi, it's the Cola. By Schick Quattro Power. And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Take a look at Tony La Russa's starting lineup, brought to you by Taco Bell. David Eckstein at short, Jim Edmonds in center, Albert Pujols red hot in this series again at first. Reggie Sanders in left field, Larry Walker in right, Mark Redzolanek at second. A latter third of Yadier Molina. Hector Luna starting at third base, and Chris Carpenter on the mound. Game 5 in Houston, Texas, and baseball fans grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Andy Pettitte, the native of Deer Park, Texas, winds and delivers. And it's strike one on the inside corner, says home plate umpire Larry Poncino, and we are underway. Eckstein just 2 of 13 so far in the series.
Well, what do you think Pettit would start him off with? 2 straight cut fastballs down and in, his signature pitch.
Pettit a winner in the division series and then a loser in game 1 of this league championship series. You may remember he took the line drive off his knee during batting practice. Never used it as an excuse, but certainly was not the Andy Pettit the Astros saw him over the second half of the season. He was a National League's Pitcher of the Month in both July and September. And he hits Eckstein with a 1-2 pitch.
Well, this is something David Eckstein is willing to do to get on base for his ball club. He knows that Andy Pettit's going to feature that cutter. Standing right on top of the plate, refusing to give, and gets the inning started and the game started in a good way for the Cardinals.
Got hit 13 times on the season. There's a scouting report on Andy Pettit. 3 pitches to both sides. He's got a lot of confidence after that second half, and he's picked off 72 guys in his career at first base 4 times this year.
Now Jim Edmonds looks at ball 1 down and away. Edmonds, like so many of the Cardinals, really outside of Pujols, struggling in this postseason. Only 3 of 13 in a league championship series. Does not have a home run, nor does he have an RBI. Strike on the outside corner to even the count 1-1. In National League Championship Series play, it was only 2 years ago. A team found itself down 3-1 and came back to win the series. Pitch up to Edmonds, 2 balls and a strike. And you may remember back in 2003, the Florida Marlins down 3-1 had to beat Carlos Zambrano, Mark Pryor, and Kerry Wood of the Chicago Cubs. Perhaps not as tall an order as Pettit, Oswalt, and Clemens, but not far behind. A vast difference in terms of experience. 3-1 now on Edmonds.
Edmonds giving Pettit a pretty good at-bat. His numbers against Pettit are not good. 3 for 33 lifetime against him. But Edmonds says, you know, I feel like I swing the bat pretty good. I hit the ball hard. I've driven the ball. Just come up empty.
3-1 to Edmonds. And it's ball 4 low, so a hit batsman and a walk to begin the St. Louis first inning. Let's take a look at how the Astros cover the field, brought to you by State Farm. And again, they'll go with Chris Burke in center field, starting his 4th consecutive game in this series after getting a pinch hit home run off Chris Carpenter in game 1. Berkman and Lane, the corner outfielders. Ensberg, Everett, Biggio, and Lamb third to first. Pettit and Ausmus, the battery. Albert Pujols, another monster postseason. 6 for 14 here in the LCS with a home run and 3 runs batted in. And he pops up the very first pitch. Infield fly rule in effect with Ensberg underneath it, 1 away.
How ironic is that Albert Pujols had only had 1 at-bat with runners in scoring position this postseason, gets an opportunity with runners at first and second here in the first inning and chases the first pitch he sees. Cut fastball, belt high, inside part of the plate. Presumably a real good pitch to hit, and Pujols pops it up to the left side. He was probably caught by surprise. He hasn't seen a strike down the middle of the plate in this series.
Been knocking balls all over the park on pitches that are 6 inches off the plate. Sees one right down the middle and pops it up.
Our broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. Reggie Sanders digging in with 2 on and 1 out, and he hits a fly ball into left center field, which is playable for who? Berkman making the catch in front of Chris Burke. So after Eckstein reach, Edmonds reach, Pettit sets down Pujols and Sanders.
Well, in the playoffs, it's awfully difficult to hear out there because of all the crowd noise, but your center fielder's got to be the guy that takes control. Berkman only catches that ball because he's about 4 inches taller. You look at Burke yelling, I got it, I got it, I got it. Berkman should have gotten out of there and let Burke take that ball. sometimes young guys, especially in center field, battle a respect issue in the outfield. They say, you haven't been out here that long. Let the veteran catch it. But, well, you don't want to pull the respect card and drop fly balls.
Now Larry Walker with 2 on and 2 men out. And Pettit going to work. Strike 1 at the knees. This high-octane Cardinal offense has been completely shut down the last 32 innings of this postseason against the Astros, scoring a total of 4 runs. Little roller up the line. That is going to stay fair. Office, a nice play, and that'll end the inning. So the Cardinals put the first 2 on, and they never moved. Chris Carpenter to face Houston when we return.
It seems like everyone's rushing to get things done faster. But sometimes the best solution is to slow things down. Budweiser Select starts with the finest American and Bavarian hops. Then we brew it longer, giving the beer a full flavor that's easy to drink. Why do we slow things down to make Budweiser Select? It's worth it. Budweiser Select. Expect everything.
Introducing the new It. With sleek design and incredible handling, it can turn on a dime. It can hold up to 2,500 of your favorite songs, can cook anything from succulent chicken to Chateaubriand. It doesn't lose suction. It was designed by German engineers and developed in Sweden by renowned Japanese scientists. It has over 1,700 lines of resolution. It.
First base, $58. Second base, 630 pesos. Third base, 300,000 yen. Home, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Fan of the game, wherever there's a game.
You're grilling for us?
Well,
Steak.
Hey, Brian. We smelled the grill. Yeah.
Introducing Taco Bell's new Steak or Chicken Nachos Bel Grande. Grilled authentic carne asada steak or marinated all white meat chicken give Nachos Bel Grande that great flavor of the grill.
This is nice.
For grilled taste that really draws a crowd, think outside the bun.
The League Championship Series on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser Select. Finally, bold taste meets a clean finish. Expect everything. Astros come to bat. Craig Biggio, Chris Burke, Lance Berkman, Morgan Ensberg in a cleanup spot. Mike Lamb is at first base with Jason Lane in right. Brad Ausmus catching. Adam Everett, the shortstop. Andy Pettit on the mound. Their lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Strike 1 to Craig Biggio. What a season for Chris Carpenter. Perhaps good enough to win the National League Cy Young Award. 21-5, a 2.83 ERA, 30 years old from Manchester, New Hampshire. One and two the count. Carpenter a winner twice in this postseason, shutting out the Padres in the division series, and then allowing just the 2 runs in 8 terrific innings in game 1 of the LCS.
Carpenter with a fastball, a curveball, a changeup. He'll cut his fastball. He'll sink it. The Astronauts against him this year. He's a perfect 5-0.
Roller up the middle. And Biggio with an infield hit off the glove of Grzelcyk. Not sure if he picks it up cleanly. Throws him out anyway.
Biggio, even at 39 years old, can still get down the line, and that's why Grzelcyk had to hurry this. He wants to get the transfer from glove to ball as quickly as possible. And he does it too quickly. Biggio up the line very quickly.
Now, the last line on the scouting report for Chris Carpenter was the fact that he's a road warrior. 12-1 on the road this season.
Now the rookie Chris Burke. 25 years old, from Louisville, Kentucky. The Astros' first-round pick, 10th overall out of the University of Tennessee in the 2001 draft. And has been a postseason hero for the Astros. He won that 18-inning marathon, Game 4 of the division series. Squares around a bunt and bunts it foul. Big situation in the game last night when the Astros put 2 on with nobody out in the 7th inning. And after a failed bunt attempt on the first pitch, they had Burke swinging away.
You never know what Phil Garner's going to do as a manager. It's tough to manage against him. In that situation, he doesn't have Burke bunting. In this one, he does.
Hector Luna pulled way in and continues to come in at third, and that bunted perfectly to advance the runner.
Guys, I really like the way he did. I think he knew everyone in the house knew he was bunting. He squared around real early. He's a young kid. He wanted to make sure he got it down. He says, hey, I know that you know I'm bunting, but if I do it right, you're not going to get me out. I'm going to square around early, bend my knees. You bunt with your legs. See him bend his knees and give with that ball. Drop it down in a perfect spot. Make sure he gets the job done. Nice job by a young kid.
Well, for many of you that have been primarily watching the American League Championship Series, one of the real themes of this series, a lack of clutch hitting. The Astros 2 for 31 in this league championship series with runners in scoring position and a first inning chance to get a run here against Carpenter. Ball 1 to Lance Berkman. Phil Garner said he doesn't care about those stats. You said it last night, Bob Brenly. Doesn't mean anything now.
That's all history. All that matters is what happens on that field tonight.
Two and up.
Seeing Burke put down the sac bunt in the first inning of a ball game, it speaks to the lack of offense for both of these teams and how important it is to execute in those situations, because you're not going to steal a base against either one of these starting pitchers. We talked about Pettit's pickoff move. He nullifies the running game. Chris Carpenter's given up 1 stolen base in the last 2 years, and that came to Derek Lowe, a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm sure that kind of caught him by surprise.
Well, they do have a base open, and Berkman is the best hitter in this Houston lineup. He got a pitch to hit right there. 2-0 fastball right down the gut and fouls it out of play. Lance would like to have another one of those.
Couple pitches early in the ball game. Berkman fouled his off. Pujols got one right down the middle, popped it up.
High and away, 3 balls and a strike. Before this series began, we asked Tony La Russa, do you believe in the theory that there's one guy on the other team you won't let beat you? And if you do, who is that guy? And without saying it directly, Lance Berkman was that guy. He got another pitch to hit, again on a hitter's count. Fouled away a 2-0, now fouls away a 3-1.
Well, I think the reason Berkman would be that guy on the Astros team is the fact that he has fewer holes than some of the other hitters in the Astros lineup. I mean, you look up and down this lineup, and every one of the guys has somewhere you can go to get him out if you set it up properly. Berkman's a guy that'll hit the ball from foul line to foul line from both sides of the plate, so much tougher to set him up and execute a pitch to his weakness.
He's the closest thing that this team has to a pure hitter.
Berkman without an RBI in this league championship series. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I tell you, I really enjoyed the conversations that we have had with Phil Garner in the pregame interviews. Such a pleasant sense of humor that he doesn't show very often. And when we talked to him about those numbers that you guys brought up earlier about hitting with runners in scoring position, he said, heck, if I let those numbers dictate what I did, I'd pinch hit for every guy I have. Right. But who am I going to do it with? We about fell off our chair when we heard that.
Full foul. Good battle here between Carpenter and Berkman in the bottom of the first inning with Biggio in scoring position.
Well, I'm not sure how Lance Berkman feels about this, but I always felt the more pitches you can see in your first at bat of a ball game against a starting pitcher, it was going to work to your advantage. Whether you get a hit in this at bat or not, Lance Berkman's seen everything Chris Carpenter has to offer in this at bat.
He draws a walk. That was an 8-pitch at bat for Berkman. Now let's look at how the Cardinals cover the field. Brought to you by State Farm. Sanders was back in the lineup for Game 4. He's in left, Edmonds in center. Walker playing with a painful neck in right. Luna for the injured Abraham Nunez at third, joined by Eckstein on the left side, Grzelcyk and Pujols on the right, and Carpenter and Molina the battery. Now Morgan Ensberg, 1 RBI during this LCS. And he's down a strike. He had 36 home runs during the regular year and drove in 101 runs. He was the Astros team MVP. Breaking ball low to even the count 1-1.
Gary Gaetti, the hitting instructor for the Astros, really thinks that both Berkman and Ensberg are starting to get to the point where they're really locked in, and he really wanted to see the challenge between Carpenter and those two guys tonight.
An excuse me roller out in front of the plate. Carpenter will throw out Ensberg. Biggio advances to third, and Berkman to second. Now Mike Lamb, 3 of 12 in the series with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Lamb has 4 home runs, in fact, in his last 7 postseason games. This guy can hit. Fastball up and in.
He hasn't hit for a high average during the regular season, but he is a legitimate power threat in the middle of this right-handed heavy lineup.
Carpenter finally okays his sign with Molina, and it's grounded foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mike Lamb.
Well, this is a guy that the Yankees thought so much of. They traded for him in the offseason before the 04 season. Of course, then they pulled off the blockbuster deal to sign A-Rod. Lamb was going to be their opening day third baseman. Lamb said, now what? They traded him down here in spring training to Houston, getting a much greater opportunity to play, and sitting on the bench behind A-Rod in New York.
Runners at second and third, and Lamb a bouncing ball on the third base line. Luna the long throw. Got him. What a play by Luna, who played a grand total of 7 games at third base this season. Both teams leave 2 in the opening inning.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise. The all-new Chevy Impala gets an estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
Malibu LS with 32.
Cobalt LS, 34.
And a Aveo with 35.
I promise that Chevy Tahoe has best-in-class fuel economy.
We even took a Silverado and created the first full-size hybrid pickup truck.
I promise fuel economy is just as important to Chevy as it is to you.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise.
If they're going to put mayonnaise on a BLT, they should call it an MBLT.
Well, they should call it a BBLT because of the bread.
No, in the sandwich world, bread is valve 347. The bread is a given.
Approaching maximum core temperature.
Have it.
Mayonnaise is a condiment. Condiments don't get initials.
Who made up that rule?
Nextel walkie-talkie phones are now available from Sprint. Now buy 1 I-265, get 1 free. Sprint. Yes, you can.
Okay, we've got a break in the action.
Oh, good. I can play the Grand Slam quiz.
You like these, don't you?
Yeah, as long as there's no math.
Not likely. Okay, who insures more drivers than the other 3 companies combined?
Well, the biggest one.
I think they're looking for something a bit more specific.
Okay, not that one. Definitely not that one. Or that one. No, I'm going to go to State Farm.
Gee, Bob, how'd you know?
Oh, it's a no-brainer.
Your specialty.
Well, thank you.
So tell me, is it true you do more brakes than anyone?
Yes, we do almost 2 million brake jobs a year.
And you guarantee all your work?
Absolutely. If you... Is something burning?
Oh, those are Fred's old brakes. Very funny.
Come to the experts in brakes and maintenance, the Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and multi-point courtesy check, including brake check, for just $29.95. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
Trust the Midas Touch.
She's a world-renowned expert who sees someone's life just by looking at their bones.
Compound fractures of the trapezium.
I need subtitles walking in here.
Now the FBI needs her.
We have to exhume our victim's body.
They just can't control her.
She can't have a gun.
No gun, absolutely not.
Based on the real-life story of forensic anthropologist Kathy Reichs.
A bedpan?
The new hit Bones returns Tuesday, November 1st on Fox.
Hey, I'm an Astros fan. I'm famous for my whistle. It sounds like... Gonna be Astromania all over this house. Astros win! Astros win! I live for this!
Watch the World Series on Fox. Don't miss it.
What a play by Hector Luna, stranding 2 in the Houston first inning.
This is an amazing play. You see, he's taken 6 steps before he catches the ball. Then he has to pick up the target and throw it, going away from the play. Another look at it right here after he catches the ball. He's got to pick up the target and then get something on the throw going this way. That's hard to do. What an amazing play by a guy who's played 7 games at third base. That's the toughest play at third baseman will have to make.
Well, we're set to begin the top of the second inning. Thought for a moment something might be wrong with Andy Pettit. Apparently they didn't get the green light that we were ready to play baseball. And Pettit continued to throw as Mark Rezolonic begins the Cardinals second inning, down strike 1. Talk about Pettit taking that line drive off his right knee, his landing knee, during batting practice before game 1 of this league championship series. Hopper down to third, backing up a step Ensberg, 1 away. Rezolonic 2 of 16 in the series. Time for our Lunesta trivia question. The last 3 years, a wild card team has won the World Series. Can you name the last divisional champion to win the World Series? We'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of this second inning. Yadier Molina, the St. Louis catcher, looks at a strike from Andy Pettit.
You know, Tom, you mentioned that line drive off of Andy Pettit's right knee, and he refused to use that as an excuse for his ineffectiveness in that game. But if you look at some of the pitches he threw in that ball game, he was having a lot of trouble getting the ball down, getting out over his front leg, and finishing his pitches. Left a lot of very hittable fastballs and cutters up around the belt.
We saw him the next day at the hotel, and he was limping around very gingerly on that knee. You know it hurt.
Pettit has 14 career playoff wins, trailing only John Smoltz on the all-time list. That one fouled back out of play. Tonight, Pettit is starting his 9th potential series-clinching game in his postseason career. And in those games, he's 3-2 with a very high ERA. You see his career numbers in League Championship Series play. This is his first in the National League Championship Series. Down the right field line, out of play.
You know, the one thing Andy Pettit complained about with that knee when he did talk about it wasn't so much landing on that right knee, it was lifting his leg. He has that high knee kick right there in the middle of his delivery, and he said he was having trouble getting his leg up.
Well, Brad Ausmus having a conversation with Larry Poncino as to whether or not that ball was tapped off the bat of Molina. Haven't we seen enough already?
Make it stop. The Ball clearly hitting the dirt. The only question was whether Molina got a piece of it or not, and in Larry Poncino's estimation, he did.
0-2 to Molina. Grounded foul again. Well, so much talk after the ball game yesterday, into the night, all day today, about what took place here in Game 4. The ejections of Tony La Russa and Jim Edmonds by home plate umpire Phil Cousin. Tony La Russa refused to comment on it during the post-game press conference. Edmonds spoke very little about it. Still 0-2 on Molina.
Well, Tony La Russa did make it a point today to talk about what he felt was a bad perception of him and his ball club. I mean, they've been a very poised team all season long and throughout this postseason, and Tony felt that he and his staff and his team showed a lot of restraint given the very mobile strike zone last night of Phil Cousin.
That ball shot into deep right center field, and Burke, a diving attempt, will not get there. It goes to the wall. Molina on his way to second base, and he's going to stop right there with a one-out double.
He talked about the Molina wheels. That is just an outstanding piece of hitting, going down and away and driving that ball to the opposite field. He hits over 300 against left-handers this year. Burke with the dive. No problem diving for that ball. He might as well, because Molina's not going to get to third base. Molina wouldn't get to third base if we were in a Little League field and there was no fences out there.
Well, he might not be running fast, but he's running hard.
Yes, he is.
That's everything he's got right there.
Hector Luna only one at bat in this entire postseason. That includes the Division Series and the LCS. He's up there with a runner at second base and only one out. Molina, a huge lead out there at second base. He was almost halfway to third.
Now, his brother Benji had a great postseason for the Angels, but both Benji and Jose are sitting home watching their younger brother play baseball right now.
Grounded foul. I'd like to remind you, tomorrow night on Fox, don't miss Bones, one of the hottest shows of a new season. It's based on the real-life story of forensic anthropologist and best-selling author Kathy Wright, who solves murders by analyzing victims' bones. Critics are raving about it. Bones will be paired tomorrow night with a first-class medical drama House, making Tuesday a night of standout TV. Now back out of play, 0-2 on Luna. That all begins tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
I think this count right here is where you start to see Brad Osmus at his best. Not only making sure that Pettit throws the pitches that he wants to see, but clearly you'll probably, if this count goes a few more pitches, you're going to see something in the dirt, and Osmus is going to have it knock it down.
0-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, says the home plate umpire, Larry Poncino. 2 away in the inning.
You know, as a hitter, so many times you tell yourself, make him get the ball up, make him get the ball up. Don't swing at that pitch down around the knees. You're just going to hit it on the ground. And you see a pitch up out of the strike zone, it's very hard to hold up.
And there was no debate. He went around there. Now Carpenter, 5 hits and 77 at-bats during the regular season. A 1 hopper to third, and that will end the inning. Bottom of the second, no score.
For years, E-Trade was alone, standing outside, throwing stones at the financial establishment, challenging the ordinary. Now that we've matured, we're doing it from inside. E-Trade Financial combines banking, trading, and investing so you can make the most of your money. Be maximized. Visit etrade.com and be extraordinary.
time to discover Lunesta, a sleep aid that can give you and your restless mind the sleep you need. Lunesta helps most people sleep all through the night and works quickly, so take it right before bed. Lunesta is non-narcotic and approved for long-term use. Of course, do not use sleep medicine for extended periods without first talking to your doctor. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Avoid taking Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Ready to catch a great night's sleep? Just climb into bed and leave the rest to Lunesta.
Introducing the mid-size Nissan Frontier. Mid-size truck, full-size hardware, goodbye compact.
With so much more to see, shouldn't you be watching it on the Aquas Liquid Crystal television? From Sharp.
Both teams missing scoring chances in the opening inning. Cardinals left 2 on, as did the Astros. Bottom of the second inning, no score. Game 5 of the National League Championship Series. Jason Lane down a strike against Carpenter. Breaking ball and strike 2. Lane had 26 home runs during the regular season. Drove in 78 runs, getting a chance to play every day at the big league level for the first time, and he hammers one into left field, a base hit. Jason Lane finds Minute Maid Park to be the friendly confines indeed. He's really struggled in St. Louis, much like the rest of the Astros, but they're a different club here.
Well, we've seen Jason Lane adjust his swing from pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat. He hit a home run last night on a very awkward looking swing, but that time got the head out in front of home plate, hit a clean line drive through the left side.
Brad Ausmus, 3 hits and 14 at bats in this LCS with an RBI. Runner goes, and it's grounded fair. Bounces off the stands and then dives in the corner. They're going to hold the runner at third. And into second with a double is Ausmus. And the Astros banging on the door.
Well, there's only one reason why a run wasn't scored on this ball, and that was because of Eckstein's hustle into that corner. When it hits this wall, it just dies. Reggie Sanders isn't going to be able to get to it. Eckstein comes flying into the picture right here. His all-out hustle running all the way from his shortstop position makes sure that Lane can't score on that play. If he's not hustling, you got to run on the board.
A hit-and-run play there. Nice job by Ausmus just to put the ball on the ground. So many times hitters think they have to hit behind the runner on a hit-and-run. They end up taking a bad swing, not making contact.
Infield end for the Cardinals, and a roller foul off the end of the bat by the shortstop Adam Everett. This is a huge at-bat in this game with a pitcher Andy Pettit due up next.
Well, we've seen Phil Garner squeeze with Adam Everett at the plate in this series. He fouled it straight back, a pitch that was up and in. He wasn't able to get it on the ground in fair territory, but I doubt if you'll see it with nobody out. The potential of bunting into a triple play are too great.
I think these guys have used up their quotas of squeezes, haven't they?
Fouled off his front foot, and just like that, Carpenter ahead at no balls and 2 strikes on Everett, who has 5 hits and 16 at-bats in this LCS.
Now, it's interesting. We saw the last 2 guys pull the ball. Lane through the 6 hole, and then Osmus right down the line. I asked Gary Gaetti if he fights with his hitters when they come back to this ballpark because everyone wants to hook the ball in the left field. And he said, no, I never fight with them at all. And then he kind of looked at me and smiled the way he played. He said, I like these guys to pull the ball.
Cardinal infield in. Lane does not run well at third. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Big strikeout there for Carpenter. One away, and the pitcher Andy Pettit coming up.
Good hard sinker down and in from Chris Carpenter. He has so many weapons available to go after a hitter. We said we were doubtful that they would squeeze with Everett, but be heads up right here. Andy Pettit with 15 sacrifice bunts this year. Not much of a hitter, but a very good bunter.
Tough part with squeezing with a lefty up there. It's an easy throw to throw the ball up and away from a lefty if you can snip it out, and then the runner runs right into an out at home.
Of course, Carpenter squeezed against Pettit in game 1. Down and in. Andy just 5 hits during the regular season and 62 at bat. He had 3 RBIs. The Cardinals this year, the most runs batted in on squeeze plays with 13. The Astros second most. Swings away, a ball and a strike. What a huge lift this would be for Carpenter and the Cardinals if they could find a way to prevent the Astros from scoring after second, third, and nobody out. He went around. 1-2.
Well, we usually like to use the telestrator when we show you really nice swings. I won't even draw on that. Hi, Andy. He's looking right into someone's living room.
Runners at second and third, 1 out here in the Houston second inning, and now Pettit wants timeout. Well, Phil Garner can dispel that runners in scoring position theme from now until the end of time. But sooner or later, it's going to come back and nip you. If you can't find a way to get in a run here in the second inning, that could go a long way in not only how this game goes, but how this series goes. Tapper, backhanded, here comes the runner, throw, sweet tag, and out at the plate. Yadier Molina fields and then spins to his right rather than his left and gets the tag on Lane. What a play by Molina.
Wow. Boy, great play on both ends. Pujols backhands that ball in a tough hop, a good quick throw. And Molina knows if he goes to his left, all he's going to tag is the air behind Jason Lane. So he spins to his right, knowing that that's where Lane is headed, and is able to get the tag on him before he gets on home plate. What a great tag at the dish.
Wow.
Wow.
And you said it too, Bobby. That's a great play also by Pujols, because that's a tough backhand short hop. And Molina sticks his nose right in there. His brothers taught him well, didn't they? I've said this before, and I know his brothers hate hearing it, but I ask him all the time, how much did they teach you growing up? And he said, I don't like to watch them anymore. They give me bad habits.
And that's just instinctive play on the part of Yadier Molina. As I mentioned, he knows if he spins to his left, that's going to give Lane enough time to get past him. He's not going to have anything there to tag.
He knows he's going to get hit. He stuck his nose right in there.
Here's Biggio. And he looks at a first pitch strike. This inning began with a single by Lane. He went to third on a double by Osmus. But then Carpenter struck out Everett. They cut down Lane at the plate on a ground ball. And now they're on the corners with 2 men out. Carpenter now ahead 0-2. Can you name a last division champion to win the World Series? Mr. Brentley, I'll let you handle this one.
I think I've got a pretty good guess, yeah. Those demons from the desert, the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks right there. That proves it.
Well, that's a nice ring.
Not bad.
Is yours better than the one I got on that deal?
Probably.
Well, it should be. You were the manager. I was a lowly announcer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, what a World Series that was. I think those that have followed the history of this great game and followed it for so many decades, I'll tell you, perhaps the best World Series of all time.
I won't argue with that.
Well, you look at those numbers that we were just talking about there with a 3 for 34, 2 for 35 with men in scoring position. You got to tip your hat to Carpenter if he gets himself out of this too.
Blair will fall. 1-0 Houston. And Biggio, 18 years in an Astro uniform, delivers the game's first run.
Been making a living a long time, getting out in front of pitches and hooking them into left field. That one off the end of the bat, snaps it in half, and it's a good thing it did. The bat doesn't break. That ball gets to left field, and Reggie Sanders catches it.
We talked about Biggio and Bagwell. Stars in the Lone Star State. Biggio drafted out of Seton Hall by Houston. And now Molina's shaken up on the play. That foul ball hit him, I think, in his bare right hand.
Boy, he came running out from behind home plate. That's not a good sign. Trying to shake it off. Barry Weinberg, the Cardinal trainer, out to have a quick look at him. Oh, my.
Many people give Johnny Bench all the credit for tucking that bare hand behind your back. Many that have followed the game will tell you Randy Hundley was the first catcher to do that. Well, Bob Brenly, you were behind the plate for 10 years in the big leagues. Every time you move in this booth, we hear pops and all kinds of creaks.
Well, I was luckier than most. I have one little broken bone I had back there. I got hit on a foul tip very similar to that, right on the point of my fist, and it popped a bone out back here in my wrist.
Where did you keep your hand?
I try to keep it behind my back whenever possible, but when there are runners on base that are a threat to steal, you need to keep it up near the glove so you're ready to throw. But I don't believe Andy Pettit's going to try to steal third base here. Molina just got a little lackadaisical leaving that bare hand up there where it could be hit with a foul ball.
That's in a bad spot. I know a lot of people like it behind the glove. Jeff Torborg, I know, likes to have you put it right between your legs. And very few balls go down there.
Thank God for that.
Like a great line by Joe Garagiola Sr. talking about two catchers shaking hands at a reunion, and it took 20 minutes to pry their hands apart.
1-1 to Chris Burke. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Burke hit the pinch hit 2-run home run off Carpenter. The only 2 runs that Chris allowed in game 1. Struck him out 2 on the inning. But pretty good work there by Carpenter. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Gives up just 1.
Is that your new Sprint phone?
Uh-huh. With Sprint's new fair and flexible plans, no one can tell me what to do. I can talk when and how I want. It's my little way of sticking it to the man.
But you are the man.
I know.
So you're sticking it to yourself.
Maybe.
Sprint's new fair and flexible plans. With no huge overages or roaming charges, you control your plan. It doesn't control you. Plans start at just $29.99 a month. Sprint, yes you can.
Nothing outperforms Gillette M3 Power Nitro. Push the button and feel the boost in performance. Gillette's battery-powered motor sends micropulses to the patented Power Glide blades. Get unsurpassed comfort and the world's best shave. M3 Power blows away the competition. You'll be blown away or Gillette will give you your money back, guaranteed. Try Gillette M3 Power, the world's best shave, or your money back.
Absolutely. We have free checking with direct deposit, so you can pay your bills and get your money however you want, without paying us.
Even if I get cash from a Bank of America ATM 100 times a month?
That would be free.
Even when I pay my bills online?
It's free. You can pay almost any bill.
So if I had 65 bills...
As many as you want.
Oh, and if somebody uses my debit card, if it gets stolen or something?
you're covered.
Pre-checking plus, plus, plus.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
From Bank of America, higher standards.
This wall is just the beginning.
Prison Break returns 1 week from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Greg Biggio, a 2-out RBI single to give Houston a 1-0 lead at the end of 2. Top of the order for St. Louis. Eckstein hit on a 1-2 pitch by Pettit to lead off the ball game and was stranded at second base. Pettit has now thrown 19 consecutive strikes. 19.
Guess that would be considered pounding the strike zone.
He's only thrown 28 pitches, so pretty efficient.
Well, when you're in a rut, you got to mix in something else every now and again. So ball 1. 1-1 to Eckstein, to be followed by Edmonds and Pujols. Well, Eckstein hit by a pitch to lead off the game. Edmonds in drew a walk. Albert Pujols came up there and swung at the very first pitch that Pettit threw and popped it up to third. Breaking ball and a dandy by Andy. 1-2.
I like the way Pettit looks over his glove. It's like he has to adjust his eyes to get it over the glove, but be able to look under the visor of his hat.
Eckstein down in front of the plate. Either fouled it off his knee or his foot. Our National League Championship Series recap brought to you by Verizon BCAS. Houston leading 3-1. They're unbeaten this postseason in this ballpark. In fact, they've not lost a game the last 2 years to the Cardinals in this ballpark. Both teams dismal in scoring chances. The bullpen ERA just sensational for the Astros. Really since game 3 of last year's LCS.
Well, they've been lights out in this series. I tell you, David Eckstein taking a long time to regroup before getting back in the box. Obviously not wearing any kind of padding on that front leg, and this foul ball hits him on the inside of that left knee. He's having a hard time walking it off. I mean, we know what a tough guy David Eckstein is. Tony La Russa said he's the toughest player he's ever had. Normally he would bounce up off the deck, get right back in that batter's box. So for him to take this much time between pitches, you know he's in some pain out there.
Even though it's the other leg, it's sort of the same location that Andy Pettit got hit in during batting practice before his first start.
1-2 pitch. And it's into center field. It will fall a base hit. Eckstein led the major leagues with the most 2-strike hits. And he has another one. He has his second highest batting average in the National League with 2 strikes in the count. How about the other names on that list? Helton, Lee, Pujols, Cabrera.
Well, he is such a good two-strike hitter because he chokes up on that bat, just tries to make contact, put the ball in play. He'll foul off good pitchers' pitches, and if you happen to make a mistake in the zone, he'll put it in play hard somewhere, usually to center or right field.
0-1 Edmonds, who walked his first time up. Edmonds only 3 out of 13 in this LCS. And you saw in that graphic a moment ago, without a home run or a run batted in. He homered his very first at bat in this postseason, game 1 against San Diego. Does not have a home run or an RBI since. Eckstein going. Pitch taken. No throw to second base.
Had a great jump he got. Went on first movement. Osmus has to stick that ball in his back pocket. As soon as Pettit moves, Eckstein just guessed, broken knee and everything.
That is only the 6th stolen base in just the 10th attempt all year long with Andy Pettit on the mound. 2-1 on Edmonds. Squares around a bunt. And it's a strike. Edmonds has something to say to the home plate umpire, Larry Poncino. Probably, did I offer the pitch or was it a called strike?
It certainly looked like he pulled the bat back in time.
Look for Poncino's call there. Didn't really see it. Usually point at the bat if he said you swung at it.
Edmonds hooks it into right field, a base hit. Lane comes up with it. They're going to hold Eckstein at third. And here come the Cardinals again, just as they did with Eckstein and Edmonds in the opening inning. A Poole swung at the first pitch with 2 on and nobody out in the first inning. Brandon Backey wearing a microphone chatting in the dugout with Chris Burke, our Fox Sounds of the game.
I mean, those are one of those moments. Obviously, this game's got 8 innings to go, but those are one of those moments where, like, you can look back at that right there again. Now we're on 1 pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just being that here's the best hitter in the game. If he takes that pitch, even if it is right down the middle and he just misses it, it's probably going to go 5-6 pitches at a bat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know what might happen.
You're right about that. We've talked at length about the lack of offense in this series. That's only the 4th time in this series that the Cardinals have been able to throw up back-to-back hits.
That's amazing.
Now, there's that pitch that he saw again. That's the pitch that Burke was talking about. Pretty good pitch to hit. Fastball down the middle. And Burke said, you know, if he takes that, maybe this at-bat goes 5 or 6 pitches and he gets something better to hit. You don't want to see Albert Pujols getting something better to hit.
Runners on the corners. Nobody out. And a throw will send Edmonds back to the bag. Oh, 1 on the way. This is outside. Pujols has been a monster in the league championship series going back to the start of last year. In 11 games, nearly a .500 batter. With 5 long ones and 12 batted in. He has 1 home run in this series. Fouled away, 1-2.
This clubhouse for the Cardinals is very loose, too. We were down there before the game. There's a big eruption in the food room for the players. About 3 or 4 guys come running out, yelling and screaming and cheering, and asked what happened. And they said, Pujols just beat John Rodriguez in their chess match.
The amazing thing is we've watched this series unfold and we've talked repeatedly about Albert Pujols and how the Astros should pitch around him, which I think they've done a great job of doing in this series, and he's still hitting 400.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 balls that he's hit, last 3 balls he's hit the other way weren't even strikes. Nasty 2-strike pitches that he drilled.
Runners on the corners, nobody out for Pujols. And a 1-2 from Pettit. Got him swinging.
Well, they got him this time. First pitch was the most hittable pitch you'd see. Fastball right down the middle. Then they went away with a little cutter on the outside. Down and in, and then his signature pitch. Slider down and in. Tough pitch to reach. I don't know that there's too many left-handers that do it better than Andy Pettit. Even to the best hitter in baseball.
Now Reggie Sanders. 2 for 11 here in the LCS. Was injured in Game 2. Sat down Game 3. Returned yesterday. Went 0 for 4. Ball one off the outside edge.
That's a huge strikeout. Reggie Sanders grounded into 8 double plays during the regular season. If Pujols does that, you score a run. You get into a double play situation here, you do not score a run, you go to the next inning.
I don't think you'll see it happen with Reggie Sanders at the plate, but if Pettit should happen to retire Reggie Sanders, 2 outs in the inning, same situation, first and third. We know the Cardinals are a solid fundamental team, but they also have some tricks in the bag. And I'm sure one of them is the play where Jim Edmonds takes a monster lead at first base, tries to draw a pickoff throw, and then you see Eckstein come down the line from third base trying to steal a run.
Would you do that, Bobby? Maybe in June?
Well, you know, if you're going to do it in June, why not do it in the postseason as well? I mean, sometimes the element of surprise is best in the postseason. And I also say that because of the struggles that Larry Walker has had at the plate, specifically against Andy Pettit.
1-0 on Reggie Sanders. Fastball outside. Game 1, first inning at Busch Stadium. Sanders against Pettit.
Oh, we thought Reggie was a pretty good matchup against Andy Pettit. The numbers would say so. 6 for 14 with 3 home runs against Andy.
Sanders had 12 RBIs in his first 13 at-bats this postseason. He does not have an RBI in his last 9 at-bats. 2-0. Had a pitch to hit and fouled it back. Well, if you really break down the game of baseball for those that follow it day in and day out, and you guys were in the batter's box against guys like Pettit, you don't get many quote-unquote pitches to hit. He got one right there and missed it. Missed it meaning he didn't hit it hard in play.
I think the Cardinals hitters have seen a lot of pitches so far that they've missed.
Grounded foul, and now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think Andy Pettit really bared down there against Albert Pujols, and he's got him out both times he's faced him. But overall, I don't think we're seeing Pettit's best stuff so far.
All 3 hits against Andy Pettit so far in this ball game have come on a 2-strike count. Sanders in the box at 2-2.
Eckstein was creeping a little further down the line that time. He has a bird's eye view of Pettit's move going across the field away from him. Fastball up, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Sanders.
And you know, Bobby, I think the key to that play that you were talking about, if Pettit throws over and Eckstein tries to steal home, is for Edmonds to get a big enough lead where he has to dive back, and Lamb thinks he has a play there. He has to put a tag on, and he forgets momentarily about the runner on third.
So you start the runner here, 3-2.
I don't think you can with Reggie Sanders at the plate. He swings and misses way too often.
Runner not going. In the air down the left field line and bending foul. Those Crawford boxes down the left field line, they call them the Crawford boxes because just outside the stadium, that's Crawford Street.
A cut fastball or perhaps a slider that just didn't get in where Andy Pettit wanted it. That's the danger of throwing that cutter in on the hands of the right-hander. If you don't get it in there far enough, the only place a right-handed hitter can pull it is down the line in left field.
Told you Sanders, great numbers in his career against Pettit. Runners on the corners, 1 away. 3-2 the count. And again a throw to first, and Eckstein that time broke very hard, and Lamb was ready.
keep your eye on everybody if you can.
Need more eyes.
I wonder if Pettit has the confidence to bounce a breaking ball 3-2 and get Reggie to fish for it.
3-2 to Sanders. Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts against Pujols and Sanders.
Well, just a perfect location at the knees on the outside corner. Even if that ball's put into play, it's going to be a harmless ground ball right at somebody, probably a double play.
Now Brad Ausmus, after a lengthy battle in that at bat with Reggie Sanders, will come out and visit with Pettit before Larry Walker settles in. Game 1 of the World Series. We know the White Sox will host games 1 and 2 on the south side of Chicago. Congratulations to Jerry Reinsdorf, Eddie Einhorn, Kenny Williams, manager Ozzie Guillen, and their entire franchise. What a very, very, very impressive American League Championship Series for the White Sox.
Brad Ausmus just did a couple things. He came out and directed the defense, told everybody what was going to happen on a potential stolen base attempt. But he also looked at the corner and infielders and said, Walker might drop a bunt down in this situation. It's an easy way to get a run scored. You can walk to first if you bunt the ball in the right location.
In the bottom of the second inning, the Astros had runners at second and third with nobody out. Carpenter struck out Everett, cut down the runner at third, trying to score on a ground ball, and then it was a 2-out hit by Biggio, which brought in the run. The Cardinals now looking for a 2-out hit after putting runners at first and third with nobody out in the third. 2-1.
I think Walker has a pull reputation, but I think there's too much room in between those outfielders. Berkman doesn't like to move, and you can see the way Burke is shaded into right center field. I think Walker against Pettit would try to hit the ball harder into that left center field gap, be less of a pull hitter.
2-1 pitch. Wades through it to even the count. And now everybody in this ballpark on their feet, looking for the final out of the inning. Well, it looked like Larry Poncino wanted to ring up strike 3 momentarily.
Front door cutter that time from Andy Pettit. Starts it off the plate inside, tries to cut it back over that inside corner. Little assist there from Brad Ausmus pulling that pitch down toward the strike zone, but runs the count to full.
Ball 4 down and away. What an at bat there by Larry Walker, who all season long has struggled against left-handed pitching, but he draws the walk to load him up for Mark Rezzolani. A professional at bat right there by Larry Walker.
Another visit to the mound by catcher Brad Ausmus. Hey, pitchers will tell you that when they have to execute pitches in tough situations, it takes a lot more out of them than throwing a lot of pitches with nobody on base. So Brad Ausmus making sure after the 27th pitch of this inning to go out to the mound, give Andy Pettitte a little bit of a blow, regroup, and get back out there and go after Mark Grudzielanek.
Grudzielanek 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position in this postseason. Ball 1 down low. Grudzielanek grounded to third, his only time up, 2 of 16 in the series.
He has been such a contradiction in the last 2 postseasons for Grudzielanek. Hitting 167, but he hits 364 against Pettitte. I think Grudzielanek's hoping for those 364 numbers.
1-0 pitch. Broken bat roller, foul.
Boy, only the tremendous amount of English on that ball spun it into foul territory down that first base line.
Look at that thing kick. Well, that would have been a circus if it stayed fair and Lamb couldn't get to it. It would have just trickled into the corner and guys would have been running for days.
Eckstein, Edmonds, and Walker aboard with 2 out. Houston leading 1-0 here in the third. 1-1 pitch. Lined into right center field, sinking, and it falls in a hit. 2 runs will score, and Grudzielanek, with a little flare into right center, gives St. Louis a 2-1 lead.
Grudzielanek's natural swing is to lead with his hands. The barrel of the bat drags behind. Able to fight that pitch off into shallow right field with 2 outs in the inning. Everybody on the move. Edmonds scores easily from second base.
Grudzielanek, kind of jammed himself, as you talked about, Bobby. He likes the inside out the ball, but he wanted plate coverage on any swing he's going to take in that situation. Fight some pitches off, find a way to get a ball into the outfield for a base hit. He kind of leaned out over the plate on a pitch that was right down the middle. He kind of jams himself, bending over. You see him bent at the top of his waist a little bit, out over the plate, just making sure that he covers the entire plate with any swing he's going to take. Come out smelling like a rose right there.
A 30-pitch inning continues now for Andy Pettitte. Yadier Molina doubled into right center field, his only time up. So Chris Carpenter now staked to a 1-run lead. Molina, down at the bottom of that Cardinal batting order throughout this entire series, has actually swung the bat quite well. He doesn't have an RBI, but there haven't been many guys on base in front of him. Molina 5 hits and 15 at bats in his LCS. Ball 1, Ausmus keeping it in front of him, preventing Grudzielanek from advancing.
And once again, we have that first and third situation where should Tony La Russa choose to pull something out of the bag of tricks, they may try that pickoff. Walker break down the line at third. We know Larry Walker is one of the most aware heads-up base runners in the game. Maybe doesn't have the same kind of speed he had at one point in his career, but he's creeping down that line at third.
But foul, it almost hit him.
Make sure you're in foul territory, so if the ball does hit you, you're not out. Get out of the way.
1-1 on Molina. Hammered foul the other way. Look out. The only player in the history of the National League Championship Series to steal home, Jeff Branson of the Reds back in 1995 against Atlanta.
That might have been on the back end of a double steal.
1-2 pitch. Got him swinging to end the inning. But a 2-out, 2-run single by Cardinals puts St. Louis in front, 2-1.
We're going to war.
Saddam Hussein's got 1 million Iraqi soldiers.
I hear they shipped in 100,000 body bags.
Yeah, those things come in sizes?
God told me to wait because the devil's trying to break me down. The only thing that I pray is that my feet don't fail me now.
Ooh, rated R. In theaters Friday, November 4th.
Every one of your senses has been made a priority. The new 6-speed all-wheel drive IS from Lexus.
At last, you can afford the floor you've always wanted. Lowe's announces our annual Floor It event. We're taking 20% off all special order rugs and wood floors, and 10% off all installed carpet. Get huge savings on Pergo and Swiftlock premium laminate flooring. Best of all, we guarantee installation on selected flooring. We'll even meet or beat any retailer's total install price. But hurry, Lowe's special Floor It event won't last forever.
Better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
The Cardinals have been in the last 2 years. They deserve it this year. Come on!
He's done it! Walk-off home run for Pujols!
I live for this!
Watch the World Series on Fox. Don't miss it.
Mark Resolanic, a 2-out, 2-run single. And the Cardinals with a 2-1 lead. Houston bats in the bottom of the third inning, Game 5 of this National League Championship Series. And Lance Berkman takes high, ball 1. Fastball in there, strike. Berkman walked his first time up. And the 1-1. Fouled back out of play. Brandon Backey chatting a moment ago with Lance Berkman, our Fox sounds of the game.
Do I need to tell you that you're going to have another big hit today? You feel locked in. You look good up there. Yeah. I mean, even the ones you're fouling back, you know, you're just missing those. That a boy.
2-2.
That positive reinforcement, no matter who it comes from. Your hitting coach, your manager, one of your teammates.
But almost never a pitcher. That's odd to see a conversation like that between a pitcher and a hitter.
That's because Brandon Backey thinks he's a hitter.
Yeah, you got that right.
2-2 to Berkman. And it's a low ball 3. And that's what Backey was referring to when he said to Berkman, you look like you're locked in up there. The borderline pitches right there. Berkman, as they say in baseball jargon, just spitting on him. And then hammers one. Right center field. Edmonds will get to it. That ball blistered by Berkman, but allowed out. If you haven't seen this season's breakout hit, next Monday is the perfect time to get on board. Prison Break returns with a special 2-hour event next Monday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. The most talked about show on TV today.
You bring up a good point talking about guys being locked in at the plate at the major league level, playing every day. You can tell just by the way a guy takes a pitch. what kind of night he's going to have. Sometimes the hitter will take his hands with him as he takes a pitch. Sometimes his backside will break down as he takes a pitch. But when that front foot comes down soft, the hands stay back, and the head stays on the ball, you can tell a hitter's locked in.
Just off the outside corner to Morgan Ensberg, who had a check swing that hit the bat and came right back to Carpenter, who threw him out his only time up. Breaking ball low and away, 2-1 on Ensberg. Ensberg 3 years ago hit 25 home runs, followed it with a 10 home run season, and then 36. The biggest increase of any individual player from last season to this season. But he's yet to homer in this National League Championship Series. Breaking ball, a strike 3 called. No argument from Ensberg. I'd like to welcome in the fourth member of our broadcast team tonight. Say hello to Patrick O'Neill.
Tom, the Houston Chronicle buried this Astro team back on June 1st. The team started 15-30. The headline in the sports section read, "Rest in peace, Astros," with a picture of a tombstone. Morgan Ensberg found it comical that they'd give up on the team after only 45 games, and Adam Everett said the team actually started to play a little better, but the most frustrating thing was that the fans had to read it. The fans had to see that because he thinks they are the best fans in the league. And, well, I'll tell you one thing, they are noisy. I got my trusty noise meter here. It's hovering around 100 with a high of 108. It was low when the Cards scored those two, but these fans are in it. They know what's at stake, Tom.
Patrick, great to have you with us. And a 1-2-3 third. Good shutdown inning there by Carpenter. 2-1 at the end of 3.
Men love trucks. Chevy trucks. Why? Because when the pavement ends, so do the excuses. Enter the 2006 Silverado Z71 with off-road tuned suspension, and unlike Ford or Dodge, an automatic rear locker that lets you grip and go where others might think twice. Silverado from Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Long live the truck.
You have a prototype, they have a prototype. You have overseas suppliers, they have overseas suppliers. You have low-cost manufacturing, they have low-cost manufacturing. You have packaging, they have packaging. You have an ad agency, they have an ad agency. You have a supply chain that flies through customs, bypasses warehouses, and gets your product on the shelves faster. They have a new ad agency.
To all those parents who choose the minivan over the sports car, the vacation in Orlando over Antigua, chicken fingers over chicken cordon bleu. Just think, soon you'll have to do none of those things. Look into retirement savings from the AIG companies. Retirement Loans Insurance. AIG.
Who are those guys?
Oh, that's our network. It's the most reliable. Comes with the phone.
Do I, like, owe you?
No, we're good.
Cool.
There's only one reason to choose a wireless company. It's the network. And now America's most reliable wireless network has cool Samsung camera phones for just $49.99. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
The League Championship Series on Fox, sponsored by Walmart. Always low prices, always. By Bank of America, higher standards. By Verizon Wireless, it's the network. And by Chevy. Chevy and baseball, they just go together. An American Revolution. 2-1 game, St. Louis in front. Luna, Carpenter, and Eckstein due up against Andy Pettit. And a breaking ball to Luna, strike 1. Cardinals put 2 on in the first. Got a 1-out double in the second. Had runners at first and third with nobody out in the third. And finally broke through. Bouncing ball, backhanded, nearly stumbling is Ensberg, and enough on the throw to get it. So both third basemen have turned in gems here tonight.
Ensberg threw this ball long before he wanted to, but it's because he stumbled trying to get up. He wants to set himself, but doesn't have a chance. Throws it off balance. Got him.
Boy, the arm strength for both third basemen to be able to make those kind of off-balance throws with their weight going away from their target and still get plenty on the throw. That's just amazing.
And throw it just high.
2-0 to Chris Carpenter. Crowd not happy with the home plate umpire Larry Poncino. Carpenter grounded out to Ensberg, his only time up. We talked about the task, the challenge in front of the Cardinals, down 3-1 of beating Pettit, Oswalt, and Clemens. 3 consecutive games to make it back-to-back National League pennants. It should be noted, the Cardinals have done that already this year. That was during the regular season, back in July, right after the All-Star break.
We talked about it in the open. However, the Cardinals cannot afford to look forward to tomorrow's ball game, or rather Tuesday's ball game, Wednesday's ball game, whenever the heck it is.
Don't worry, there's only 7. Keep guessing.
Yeah, one of those days.
Sinking liner is caught by Lane. 2 away in the inning.
Bobby, the good news is you've already gone through 2. You have 5 left.
It ends in a Y, I know that.
You know, I think it's amazing about what's happened so far. It's like most managers would not like to see their pitchers get in the type of trouble that they've seen, but they have absolutely just dazzled when they were in trouble. We're 3 innings into this game, and there have been 9 players left on base. That's pitching out of trouble.
Well, both of them had sensational regular seasons. Carpenter's primary competition for the National League Cy Young Award figures to be Dontrell Willis. Willis just had a marvelous year with the Florida Marlins. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Eckstein. Had Andy Pettit gotten any run support at all in the first half of the season, he'd be right there in the mix. And you know about the Rocket.
Of course, the Rocket, same thing, shut out 9 times when he took the ball this year.
Pettit had the 2nd lowest ERA in the National League, 2nd only to Roger Clemens. It's 0-2 on Eckstein, who's been hit with a 2-strike pitch and has a base hit on a 2-strike pitch tonight. One-two on David Eckstein. Sales high to even the count.
You know, I know the guys on the crew have wanted me to give the grounds crews at both stadiums here a big thank you for their cooperation on those diamond cams. It's a lot of work that goes into that, and you need some cooperation from the guys that keep the stadiums right.
Short right field. Lane is there, and Pettit, his first perfect inning of the night. Astros come to bat. Down the run in Game 5.
That's everything.
Oh, sweet bachelor pad.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get it on.
From digital music players and LCD TVs to laptops and digital cameras, when it comes to living the digital lifestyle, bring it home at the Walmart price.
Dinner is squeezed.
Nice.
My dearest Lisa, as we enter our first day apart, I already miss you terribly. Believe me, honey, it's no picnic out here. But don't you worry about me. Somehow, I'll get through it. And know in your heart, I will see you soon. Though, I just can't say when. Patrick.
You'll find it hard to come back. The 244 horsepower Pilot from Honda.
King is on fire, going deep with BK Chicken Fries. Grab the new all-white meat 12-piece and score a free medium fries and drink. Get in the game quick, the clock is ticking on this deal.
Dad. Dad, you know how you like to be everywhere I am? Now you can be.
With Family Talk from Singular. Add a line for just $9.99 and get exclusive phones like the Black Razor and Rocker with iTunes. Singular, raising the bar.
It's a fact. The more we learn about how to take care of ourselves and our families, the longer and healthier our lives become. That's why more people turn to WebMD than any other health information source. It's a place where people find answers to health questions with an ease never before possible, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can finally forge a link between better information and better health. WebMD.
Chris Carpenter unbeaten so far in this postseason. A Game 1 Division Series victory over San Diego. And puts the Cardinals to their only win of this league championship series, has a 2-1 lead. Jason Lane. Game 4 in the 4th inning. A game-tying solo home run off Jeff Suppan. He had 26 home runs during the regular year. Lane to be followed in the Houston 4th by Ausmus and Everett. That's a duo to start this inning that got things started when the Astros scored their only run in the 2nd. Lane singled, Ausmus doubled. 1-2.
Astros haven't lost a playoff game at home over the last 2 years. Cardinals are on a 7-game losing streak on the road. They were the best road team in baseball.
And then a breaking ball and a 2-strike pitch hits Lane, and Carpenter disgusted.
That breaking ball just lost it right out of his hand. Hits Lane on the left thigh. And Carpenter was very upset with himself, but you can be pretty sure he's going to regroup. One of his strengths is just concentrating on what he needs to do to be effective. Execute his pitches, regardless of the situation. Obviously upset to hit the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 4th inning, but he'll regroup and go right back after Brad Ausmus here.
Well, remember, the last time that Lane reached a started inning, they got him started with Ausmus at the plate, who doubled. Broken bat roller down to 3rd. Luna will play to 2nd. And they get the out there. Hard, clean slide by Lane. And Grzelcyk took the hit.
They teach every middle infielder, if you're going to throw the ball or if it's going to be close when you catch it, get up in the air. Grzelcyk, as soon as he catches that ball, gets up in the air, jumping over Lane. If you stay on the ground and someone hits you, your cleats get caught under you. That's where you get knee and ankle injuries. Great job at Grzelcyk.
And a great job by Jason Lane to go in there hard to make sure that Grzelcyk could not make a relay throw to first.
Now Adam Everett. Breaking ball in there, strike. Everett struck out with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out his only time up tonight.
Remember, Jason Lane was the guy who slid hard into 3rd base on Abraham Nunez. Has not played since that with the bruised thigh. Lane at 6'2", 220. That's a freight train coming at you.
Oh, 0-2 on Everett.
almost feel like you could listen to what those guys are talking about.
And he finds a hole to the right side. A base hit by Everett. That's a nice piece of hitting right there.
You saw that shot, Albert Pujols standing next to Brad Ausmus at first. That means there's a big hole on that right side of the infield. Rosalanek ranging far to his left, trying to get there, but that ball just trickled through into right field. Look how hard Larry Walker charges this ball to make sure that Ausmus has no ideas about going to third base.
Now Andy Pettit. He hit a ground ball to Pujols with runners at second and third, and one out in the second inning, and Pujols threw out lane of the plate. Well done on both ends.
You know, Bob, I think that's a great point you make about how hard Walker charged the ball there. I think that most base runners make a determination if they're going to go for the extra base as to when the guy handles the ball. If the outfielder has the ball, he's not going to go.
Bunted foul.
You just don't see Major League outfielders charge as hard as they used to. Most of them play much deeper than they used to. Walker knows the quicker he can get to the ball, the better he can force a decision by the base runner not to move up an extra base.
I mean, at times Larry Walker charges the ball. It almost looks like he's out of control. He's running hard straight in to pick up that ground ball as opposed to timing his steps, breaking down to a knee to field the ball.
Pettit squares and bunts it perfectly. He'll advance the runners. Ausmus to third, Everett to second. It gives us a chance. This day in Major League Baseball history, we tell you, 1999, bottom of the 15th inning, Game 5 of the NLCS. Robin Ventura hits a game-ending grand slam, but his teammates mob him before he could get to second base. He never completes his trot around the bases, and it will forever be officially credited as just a single for Robin Ventura. For more MLB information, log on to foxsports.com. On MSN, keyword Budweiser. He had almost 20 grand slams in his career, Robin Ventura. Here's Biggio. He had a 2-out run scoring single in the second inning. Lined into left field. Sanders got it. And that'll end the inning. 6 left on base through 4 for the Astros. They trail by a run in Game 5.
All local, all morning.
Fox 2 News Morning.
Why not, Watcher? You're the best on TV, right?
Tuesday, we're taking you live to the DIA for a fateful encounter with its new exhibit. And our Blue Monday winner unveils his award-winning blueberry parfait recipe Tuesday morning.
Dark shades, pray for him. Run up the road, straight away, in control, the mastermind. Reach right past your bond. Mechanically built, speed design. The charging factor, unleash it.
Now, well-qualified Daimler Chrysler employee lessees can get a Charger SXT for just $299 a month. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Cinnamon and vanilla come together in delicious new vanilla spice flavored coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Suddenly vanilla seems pretty exciting. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring yourself back. Try new toasted almond flavored coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. In a nutshell, it's delicious. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring yourself back.
I went to the same bank for 20 years, but they changed names so many times, they forgot mine. So my son recommended a credit union. You don't know what you're missing, he said. All the same services as a bank, but they treat you with respect. So I gave it a try. And now...
Hi, Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
My credit union and I, we're on a first-name basis. Anyone can join a credit union. Find one near you at lovemycreditunion.org.
A 2005 Consumer Guide Best Buy. It's all here in black and white. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough. Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer. Residency restrictions apply.
2-1 ball game. St. Louis leading game 5 of this National League Championship Series, trailing in the best of 7, 3-1. Edmonds, Pujols, Sanders against Andy Pettitte. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. Take a look at this. Is Fox ready for the Astros and the Sox? A win tonight would be the first trip ever in the franchise history, originally known as the Houston Colt 45s. Changed names when they moved into the Astrodome in 1964 to the Houston Astros. Never been to a World Series. In fact, there has never been a World Series game played in the largest state in this country.
Texas? Oh, okay.
Fouled out of play.
I got a problem with that sign. Shouldn't
Why?
there be 2 socks hanging there? Because as it reads, they're ready for the sock.
And think of what that guy's going to go through when he goes home and tries to wear that pair of socks, and he can only find one of them.
The other got lost in the dryer.
Ready for the sock.
Well, maybe he meant, are they ready for the Astros sock in this game tonight?
There you go. Now we're reaching.
As we have been for 5 games now. Check swing, and Osmus looks down to first. We caught up with pitching coach Jim Hickey a moment ago and asked him about Andy Pettitte having to pitch out of a lot of trouble early in this game tonight.
Well, I think you're probably right, and that last inning was a good indicator of without the men on and kind of relaxing a little bit, maybe backing off a little bit. The command was a little bit better, but I'll tell you, that inning with first and third and nobody out in the meat of that order coming up, you know, he ended up spending a lot of energy, made a lot of great pitches. You know, the intensity, everything is just kind of magnified. So I was happy to see him have a fairly easy inning that next one.
Hey, you mentioned he's thrown a lot of pitches, and a lot of those pitches have been in high stress situation. Any concern about the pitch count and Andy's endurance in this game?
Well, just a regular concern about a pitch count. When you start flirting with that 100 pitch mark, you start watching him a little bit. But overall, I think his health, you know, there's no other concerns other than a higher pitch count.
Jim, you sound a little beat up right now.
I'm a little hoarse, I think, from yesterday.
You'll never go back to your radio job.
Never, ever. I think I damaged my vocal cords. It might be over for me.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, thank you.
We thank Jim Hickey for joining us each and every game thus far during this postseason. 1 out, nobody on, 3 balls and no strikes to Albert Pujols. 82 pitches for Pettitte, pitching into the 5th inning. A bullet that almost knocked Ensberg into Crawford Street. Has Pujols hit anything softly in the postseason over the last 2 years? Besides that pop-up maybe earlier on?
Get the married guys off the infield. I'm telling you, that's just roped. Ensberg's off. He didn't want to catch it. He has to. Goodness. How many times do you see a ball make you regroup and have to set back up to throw?
And he was playing about as deep as you could possibly play at third base before they reclassify you as a left fielder. He was way back there almost to the outfield grass to field that ball.
Wouldn't you be?
Now Reggie Sanders. And that one will find a hole in the left field. He hooks it through for a 2-out single. Here is tonight's ExxonMobil Speed Pass Speed Comparison. Carpenter known as a harder thrower than Pettitte. He has maintained his velocity as this game has gone on. Pettitte's beginning to drop a bit.
I don't think it's as much of a factor for Andy Pettitte, however. He relies more on movement and location. 90-91 is about where he usually pitches with his fastball. I think you saw the spike in the early innings, maybe a little extra adrenaline going early in this ball game.
Ball one to Walker, who has struggled so mightily against left-handed pitching this year, hitting barely better than 200. But how important was that walk he drew back in the third inning? That was the batter that Pettitte wanted to put the inning away with. But Walker drew the walk, allowing Grzelcyk to come to the plate with the bases loaded, and he had a 2-out single.
It was a momentum swinger. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning, then back-to-back strikeouts of Pujols and Sanders. It looked like the momentum had swung back to the Astros, and Walker worked that walk ahead of the Mark Grzelcyk base hit.
Two and 0.
We talked about the defensive positioning of the outfielders with Berkman in dead left field. We talked about him not liking to move, but Berkway over here, lots of room in there, but they are pitching inside to Walker, trying to play to that defense.
Runner goes. Check swing, and again a runner takes second base without a throw.
Now, they've obviously spotted something in Andy Pettitte's delivery to home plate that's different than his delivery to first base on a pickoff attempt. David Eckstein earlier in the ball game back in the third inning stole a base without a throw, and now Reggie Sanders gets a huge jump and steals a base without a throw.
And again, to repeat, only 5 successful stolen bases all year long against Andy Pettitte. The Cardinals have 2 in the first 5 innings tonight.
Now, Pettitte is hard to run against at first, from first to second, even though the Cardinals have been successful twice, but he's fairly easy to run off of if you're the runner at second base, and Reggie Sanders loves to steal third base. Be a little tougher with Everett positioned where he is right now.
Right side, Biggio plants, throws, got it. And that'll end the inning. Runner left in scoring position halfway through it. 2-1 ball game.
Cool.
What's the coolest way for people on the move to pay for gas and convenience items? Speed Pass.
Cool. Really cool.
How do we know? We're drivers too. Link Speed Pass to a credit or check card you already use, and you can make one of the cool moves Ryan Newman does.
Dim sum or dumplings. Earn double rewards with Love the Double from Chase, no matter where or what you eat. Earn double on your Chase Rewards card. Double cash back, double travel points, double rewards. Double with coffee, double with tea. Earn double rewards with Love the Double from Chase.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest high-speed wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Well, if you ever plan to motor away, just take my way. That's the highway, that's the best. Get your kick on Route 66. Get your kick on Route 66.
Rated M for mature.
The King is going all out, laying it on the line with BK Chicken Fries. Grab the new all-white meat 12-piece and score a free medium fries and drink. Get in the game quick. The clock is ticking on this deal.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Houston comes to bat trailing Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals 2-1. Chris Burke, Lance Berkman, Morgan Ensberg coming up. Ball one high. We told you in game one the only 2 runs against Carpenter. A pinch hit 2-run home run off the bat of Burke. His second straight plate appearance this postseason with a home run. And he's ahead to begin the 5th inning 2-0.
Burke came into this one in his last 14 games played with an average of nearly 500. Getting the most out of him.
One of the more significant moves made by either one of the 2 managers in this series. Sitting down Willie Taveras. And starting Chris Burke now 3 consecutive games. Taveras may wind up being the National League's Rookie of the Year. Fouled out of play, 2-2. Bill Garner sat down with Willie before making that decision public. Talked to him about it, said Taveras was very disappointed, but has handled it professionally.
His attitude's been great talking to him before all of these games. He still has a smile on his face, and he knows that he has a chance to make an impact on any game, just like he did in last night's game with that catch.
Breaking ball there from Carpenter that hung up a little bit on the inside part of the plate, but fouled out of play. Burke, an infielder by trade, went to the outfield down in the minor leagues this year. Played very, very well, especially in left. Struck him out on the breaking ball. And Molina in a fire down to make sure. 1 away. We caught up with Tony La Russa in between innings. He talked with us before the game about the character of this team. Felt like they got misportrayed perhaps after yesterday's game. And how about their effort so far tonight?
I think we've done it all year long, and you know, it was a tough loss yesterday. We're always ready to play. That's one thing you can guarantee. You're going to see our best shot.
Tony, I know you're not going to give us a straight answer on this one. A couple stolen bases against Andy Pettit already in this game. Huge jumps by your base runners. Have you picked something up in Pettit's delivery that can give your base runner an advantage over there?
Well, we just had 2 guys, Eckstein and Sanders, that are experienced, and, you know, they got the green light, and you know, they read it. He's very tricky with his move, but they read him right twice. So we'll see. Hopefully get some guys on base.
Tony, with your team down 3-1, you say anything specifically to them before the ball game tonight, before this one that got started?
Well, we just, you know, we're always ready to play. We've lost 2 one-run games here, and you know, we want to get a game here. We want to get back to St. Louis. So it's just play our game, which is hard as we can for 9 innings.
Thanks for the time.
All right.
Steve, Bob, you guys talked about it before this one got underway. You always like your chance when Chris Carpenter's getting the ball. Whether it's game number 94 or down 3-1 in the LCS. A bullet by Berkman into right center field. Edmonds quickly over to cut it off. And Berkman playing with that big knee brace that he tore up in a flag football game at a local church during the offseason. It forced him to miss the first month and a half.
And he struggled with that knee injury throughout the year, but he's about as healthy as he's going to be at this time of the season. That's that picture-perfect swing that Lance Berkman features on pitches down in the zone. Finds a hole on the right side, drives it into the gap in right center.
The way Berkman is swinging the bat tonight, you get the feeling the Cardinals do not want to see him with runners in scoring position in this game. He has been right on everything from Carpenter tonight. The same cannot be said about Ensberg. A check swing roller to Carpenter his first time up, and Chris struck him out looking in the 3rd inning. Ensberg only 3 out of 15 in this series. A ball and 2 strikes. Carpenter, in nearly 37 innings pitched in this ballpark this season, allowed only 1 home run. Ensberg at 36 home runs during the regular year.
Making some gutty pitches to Ensberg there, too, down and in consistently. You miss there. That's where Ensberg can get you in trouble quickly.
Battled back from 0-2. Struck him out for the second straight time.
Boy, 5 consecutive two-seam fastballs from the middle of the plate into a dead right-handed pull hitter. Gets a swinging strike there on a sinker off the plate inside. Another one just about the same location. Moves it further in on the next 2 pitches. Just about the time you're thinking he's probably going to go away, he just buries another sinker on the inside part of the plate down below the knees. Gets the swinging strike.
5 strikeouts for Carpenter. He's walked a batter and hit a batter. And now Mike Lamb. Hammered, foul.
That's a guy going up there looking dead red on the first pitch and getting it, but not being able to sit back and drive it. Sometimes you get a little overexcited when you go up there looking for a pitch. You see it right away, and then you're way out in front of it. That pitch was 93 miles an hour, and he pulled it way foul.
Takes a little off the second pitch. And it's high and away, 1-1 on Mike Lamb. Lamb, the hero in Game 3 with a 2-run home run. Also had a double and scored another run. He's behind 1-2. Nicknamed is Swing the Thing. The thing came up empty.
Wild thing.
He's for you.
Double cheeseburger, fries, and a drink from the dollar menu. 2 crumpled dollar bills. And 3 quarters from the seat cushion, 4 dimes from the ashtray, a nickel from under the floor mat, and 9 pennies from the glove compartment. Always having exact change? Priceless. Now use your MasterCard at McDonald's, or use the new MasterCard Pay Pass that's quicker than cash. Just tap and go.
This is Paul. He's been a quarryman, beetle, wing, poet, father, frontman, producer, business mogul, painter, and if that weren't enough, a knight. The key is, never stop doing what you love. Call us today. We'll help you plan for the next part of your life. Fidelity Investments. Smart move.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Impala. Available with the powerful 303 horsepower small block V8 that delivers a remarkable 28 miles per gallon highway. It's a whole new animal. Chevy Impala, an American revolution.
With so much more to see, shouldn't you be watching it on the Aquas Liquid Crystal television? From Sharp.
I love you. And I don't care where you're from or how much money you have. I like who you are.
Want to be a real actor? Play Monopoly at McDonald's and you could win the chance to be in a real movie and see a private screening of Disney's Glory Road.
The League Championship Series on Fox, sponsored by Chevy. Chevy and baseball, they just go together. An American revolution. President Bush, First Lady Barbara have been on hand for every game of this series. They put them on the kiss cam in between innings 3 straight nights, and a thunderous roar from the crowd when they did the duty.
Well, that's because after he does it, the president stands up and puts his hands in the air. And
well, they love baseball. They're here during the regular season on more than just a semi-regular basis. Taking high and away.
Personal friends of Roger Clemens.
Ray McClain, the owner of the Houston Astros, he said he was here at the office this morning before 7 o'clock. So excited about the prospect of his team advancing to the World Series. That's a fair ball off the bat of Bresolonic. Berkman over to get to it. Mark coming to second. Here's the throw, and he's out by 10 feet.
Saw that area out there where you see the radar gun reading on the board come into play earlier in this ball game. A little chalk kicks up right there. Good call by third base umpire Greg Gibson, but that ball hitting that auxiliary scoreboard down there, sometimes it hits and drops, sometimes it ricochets to the left, sometimes it ricochets back to the infield. That time it bounced in favor of the Astros.
Bresolonic didn't know what to do when he was out by 10 feet down there. Those are the kind of slides that you can easily get yourself hurt. You're in between. You don't know whether to slide or dive or stand up, run someone over. You know you're out.
Yadier Molina in the air, sinking liner to left, will fall in front of Berkman. Well, base hit by Bresolonic, cut down trying to stretch it into a double. And now a base hit by Molina, his second in 3 at-bats. Bresolonic with as many hits tonight as he had in the first 4 games of this series. Seven hits now for the Cardinals against Andy Pettitte. And here's Hector Luna. Popped it up. 2 away. Time now for our Pepsi fan camp. They love their killer bees here in Houston. They are believers in the Astros tonight. That little one ready for Halloween.
An itty bitty baby bee.
Now Carpenter. Chris has put the bat on the ball twice tonight against Pettitte. A ground out to third and a sinking liner. Lane came in and made a sliding catch. Comebacker to the mound. Will end the inning. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 St. Louis.
Okay, so you shave early, but your date isn't until 7 p.m. So what do you think your beard's doing? Taking a nap? It's not. That's why there's Schick Quattro Midnight. With 4 blades, nothing shaves closer, keeping you smooth into the night. Schick Quattro Midnight. Nothing beats the power of 4. And try the new Schick Quattro Power for a less irritating shave than your current razor. New Schick Quattro Power. Turn on the power of 4.
Dude, you said 2:30. I called and texted. You didn't get any of my messages? You guys are killing me. That's your network? Yes. Yes, it is. Is that your network? Yeah.
Well, this is awkward. There's only one reason to choose a wireless company. It's the network. And only Verizon Wireless is America's most reliable. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Introducing the new 2006 Envoy Denali. Behind this grille lies some of the most fuel-efficient technology available. Displacement on demand, saving fuel while still delivering the most standard horsepower of any midsize SUV. The new 2006 Envoy Denali by GMC.
with so much more to see. Shouldn't you be watching it on the Aquas Liquid Crystal television? From Sharp.
Introducing E-Trade Complete. Control your financial world from one page and be free of ATM fees at any machine, any bank nationwide. In other words, be master of your domain. E-Trade Financial. Be extraordinary.
Hey kids, this is Keith. Everyone got their mean faces? All right, now Steph, and kick your leg up real high. That's awesome. That's perfect. That's it right there. Oh, no. You want to go again?
Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball.
Oh, that's scary.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Sellout crowd at Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, Texas. Astros leading this National League Championship Series 3-1, though they trail Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals in Game 5 2-1. And Lane, for the third time tonight, leads off an inning. He has reached base, leading off in the second with a single, and then hit with a breaking ball on a 2-strike pitch to lead off the fourth inning. Chad Walls begins to throw in the Houston bullpen. The pitcher spot due a fourth here in the Houston sixth inning. Big breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-2.
A little bit of a hanger here that stays on the inside part of the plate. Jason Lane just a little bit too far out in front of that pitch to make contact.
Breaking ball makes contact into left field. Sanders drifting, and has room in front of the wall. For today's WebMD Health Update, we focused on Andy Pettit, bothered in his Game 1 start by a sore right knee after getting hit by a batting practice line drive. He's thrown the ball well here tonight. You can check your own symptoms, as well as learn about more common sports injuries at symptom.webmd.com. Andy Pettit, in between innings, walking down into the tunnel doesn't necessarily mean he's coming out of the game. Although Qualls continues to get loose, and after the on-deck hitter, Pettit's spot due up. Two and 0 to Brad Ausmus, who has doubled and scored the only Houston run.
We've talked about it. Pettit's had to work extremely hard in this ball game. He's thrown a lot of high-stress pitches, and the Cardinals are due to have the top of the order coming up in the 7th inning.
Fly ball to Larry Walker, 2 away. We invite you to check out the hit drama series House, as TV's most engaging doctor returns tomorrow night on Fox, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Adam Everett, 1 of 2, has struck out and singled to right field. 2 runs, 7 hits, 7 left on base for St. Louis. Houston 1 run, 6 hits, 7 left. Feldhaus strike, 1-1 to Everett.
Carpenter going right to work in this inning. We talked to Tony La Russa before the game. He said he's our horse. We're going to ride him for a long time in this one. He's throwing the ball well. He's going to keep running him back out there. He's only thrown 92 pitches.
Everett stayed up in the strike zone as well. Carpenter has hung a few breaking balls tonight, but the Astros hitter not getting to him. Fastball barely fouled off. Still 1-2. Everett trying to keep this inning alive. You get the feeling down a run in the 6th inning that Phil Garner, if Pettit's spot comes up, will hit for him. And whoever bats next, whether it be Pettit or a pinch hitter, and be able to roll over to the top of the order, start the 7th. Eric Brundtland down there with batting gloves on. Full foul.
Well, if we do happen to get to Pettit's spot here in this inning, I got to believe it's going to be one of Phil Garner's 2 best pinch hitters, or most used pinch hitters, rather, Orlando Palmeiro or Jose Vizcaíno. Still fairly early in this ball game to shoot that bullet of Jeff Bagwell up there to the plate, and he told us he would rather use him in an RBI situation that did not involve hitting a home run, where a base hit would drive home a run. Although I'm sure Bagwell's right behind Phil Garner on that step saying, use me, use me, use me.
So that rehab from surgery to get back not to play.
Nice play by Carpenter. And that'll end the inning. He mows him down in order. We go to the 7th. 2-1. We're back after a break from your local Fox station.
All local, all morning.
Fox 2 News Morning.
Why not, Watcher? You're the best on TV, right? Tuesday, we're taking you live to the DIA for a fateful encounter with its new exhibit. And our Blue Monday winner unveils his award-winning blueberry parfait recipe Tuesday morning.
I promise that Chevy Trailblazer has more standard horsepower than Ford Explorer.
Plus, OnStar and StabiliTrack, a combination Ford and Toyota don't offer. Trailblazer from Chevy.
The #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now, GM employees can lease an 06 Trailblazer LS 2-wheel drive for $169 a month. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise.
Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealer today.
With Dish Network's everyday low price, you simply get more TV for less. In fact, you could save about $29 a month with Dish Network. That's about $350 a year in savings. So what are you waiting for? Call for Dish Network's everyday low price right now and save about $29 a month over cable. Plus, if you sign up today, you'll also get HBO, Cinemax, and Showtime free for 3 months. And a Dish DVR upgrade free. Stop wasting money on cable. Call Dish Network now.
Dish Network. Better TV for all.
At a distant research facility, all hell has broken loose. Now,
orders received and understood. Search and destroy.
The Marines are going in.
Game time.
This Friday. Don't move. Don't move. It won't be pretty.
Holy.
Doom.
Sir, are you okay?
Rated R starts Friday.
Want to experience love at first sight? Then check out the 2005 Chrysler Sebring. You'll instantly fall for features like AM/FM CD, power all around, air, and remote keyless entry. And now, during the Chrysler Advantage, returning qualified Daimler Chrysler employee lessees can lease a Sebring sedan for just $169 a month. Prepare to fall hard. Check out Chrysler Sebring at your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores today.
We begin the 7th inning in Houston. 2-1. St. Louis leading Game 5 of this National League Championship Series. Cardinals have a top of the order up, and Andy Pettitte still in the game. Houston scored in the 2nd inning on a 2-out RBI single by Biggio. Cardinals came right back, got a pair in the 3rd on a 2-out, 2-run single by Mark Redzolanek. Breaking ball to David Eckstein. He's been on base twice tonight. Been hit by a pitch, singled, stole a base, scored a run, and is flying out to right. Grounded foul at the 3rd baseline. Brandon Backey wearing a microphone talking about David Eckstein in the Houston dugout.
He's a tough little cat, man. He's one of those guys you can't stand to play against, but you would love to have him on your team, you know?
I think the Cardinals were saying that about Backey last night.
Ground ball at Everett. Throw is high, swipe, tag, and miss. Eckstein hustling up the line. And Everett, an errant throw. Many of you just joining us here in Houston, Texas. A 2-1 ball game. The Astros 1 win away from their first ever trip to the World Series.
This is one of the knocks on Adam Everett, a very sure-handed shortstop, but occasionally on the most routine of plays, he will airmail that ball across the infield, and that time Lamb just couldn't get the tag down on exit. Too far to reach down.
Strike one. You brought up earlier, maybe they have found something in the delivery of Pettit. They've stolen 2 bases against him tonight after he allowed only 5 all year.
Eckstein did a great job of bending over, too, so that it was really hard for anyone to put a tag on him. Eckstein's about 5'2" anyway. When he bends over, he's about 2 feet tall.
Eckstein, one of the Cardinals that stole a base earlier in the game. Reggie Sanders, the other. And the jump that both Cardinal base runners had was just unbelievable.
And they guessed first move. I don't know if they've seen something in his delivery. I mean, because they went right away. I don't know. They'd have to pick up something in his delivery when he comes set, how he's going to throw the ball either first or home. We talked about it in game 1, too. If you're going to steal a base off of Pettit, you have to go on his first move. So if you guess right, you have a great chance of being safe. Both those base stealers didn't even draw a throw.
If the Astros think Eckstein's going to try to steal a base again here, this would be a great time for a pitch out. Pettit's ahead in the count, 0-1. He's got a left-handed hitter at the plate that he's handled fairly well throughout his career. This would be a good time to throw a pitch out if you think Eckstein's going to run.
0-1 on Jim Edmonds. He is running. They throw to first and the throw down to second, and he is out at second base. And a big fist pump from Pettit to Lamb, who came to get that throw.
It looked like Pettit was just going to keep throwing over there until he picked him off.
Wow, that's a very liberal pickoff move. See Everett hanging in there for the tag. Great job by Lamb to move forward to get the ball. Quick delivery on to second base and a very strong throw into Everett.
Now Pettit out of the regular windup, and the 0-1 to Edmonds is popped up into foul territory and off one of the beams, and if it's in play, if he catches it in the right of the batter after hitting the beam, it is a dead ball.
Now, if it hits the beam in foul territory, it doesn't matter where it comes down or whether it's caught or not. It's just a foul ball. If it hits a beam in fair territory, that ball can be caught for an out.
How does it hit a beam? That's what I want to know. There you see Ensberg going back, and then Everett's going to come into your picture. He was trailing the play.
0-2 pitch. And served up the middle. Biggio backhands, plants, throws. And Lamb did not have his foot on the bag. Solid play by Biggio. It would have been very close.
You know, watch Jared Davis on the replay. He's the first base umpire. He does a great job of not calling the play too early. He wanted to make sure he saw it and then got the play right. Lamb not on the bag. Still not on.
That's going to be all for Andy Pettit. Chad Qualls will come on from the Houston bullpen. 2-1 game.
With so much more to see, shouldn't you be watching it on the Aquas Liquid Crystal television from Sharp?
How you look at things matters. For instance, if you knew Mass Mutual was founded 154 years ago, earning financial strength ratings among the highest of any company in any industry, and attracting over $370 billion in assets under management for Mass Mutual and its subsidiaries. Would you look at us in the same way? The right perspective changes everything.
¿Aló? Perfecto. Chao.
The world's first phone with iTunes. 100 songs to go, only from Singular. Raising the bar. Cool.
What's the coolest way for people on the move to pay for gas and convenience items? SpeedPass.
Cool. Really cool.
How do we know? We're drivers too. Link SpeedPass to a credit or check card you already use, and you can make one of the cool moves Ryan Newman does.
It's The Simpsons' all-new Treehouse of Horror when Bart is replaced by a robot.
Eat my shorts. I will comply.
Here, make me a kitty. All new Sunday, November 6th, only on Fox.
Chad Qualls comes on from the Houston bullpen, replacing Andy Pettit, and walks right into the fire facing Albert Pujols. Qualls, during the regular year, terrific. The same holds true here in the postseason. In fact, it holds true for the entire Houston bullpen. In his LCS, 10 1/3 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run allowed. That's an ERA of under 1. If you include the division series, a 1.7 ERA. They've only allowed 2 runs in their last 26 innings. Rounded up the third baseline. That is a fair ball. Ensberg, good firm throw over to first for the second out of the inning.
Let's take a look at that error by Lamb at first base. The angle that Jerry Davis, the umpire, has on it, he wouldn't really be able to see. He's looking straight down this line. He wouldn't be able to tell if you're on the base or not. If Lamb just would have caught the ball and come out of there, that's where he gives himself away when he tries to reach back and tag it again. He should have just come flying out of there, throw the ball around the horn, and say, we got him. Of course, then the umpires would have been taking a lot of heat about it again. Great job down there by Jerry Davis to wait to see the play before he made the call.
An error was charged to Lamb on that play. Edmonds in scoring position, 2 out here in the 7th. 1-run game. And Reggie Sanders settles in. Strike 1. Qualls pitching for the 3rd consecutive day. He did not pitch in the first 2 games in St. Louis. 2 innings in game 3, perfect. 1 inning in game 4, perfect.
And the Cardinals looking for an insurance run right now. The time to get it with Edmonds out there that runs very, very well at second base.
Sanders has very good career numbers against Qualls. 8 at bats, 5 hits. Gallo getting ready for Larry Walker. Two balls and a strike. And you wonder now with the base open and the history, I know Qualls has just really had a great year. You don't like putting anybody on, but you've fallen behind 2-1. Gallo would face Walker should we get that far. Ausmus out for a visit. Now Everett going to drop in. Fans, we invite you to join Major League Baseball in our efforts to rebuild the Gulf Coast. Support Habitat for Humanity by calling 1-800-HABITAT, logging on to MLB.com or Habitat.org. Of course, the people of Houston have done so much already to help those affected by Katrina. Then they later got hit by Hurricane Rita here in Texas. 2-1. Broken bat roller to third. Ensberg plants, throws, inning over. A pinch hitter, and then Fred Biggio. A one-run game as they stand and stretch in Houston.
Introducing the new It. With sleek design and incredible handling, it can turn on a dime. It can hold up to 2,500 of your favorite songs, can cook anything from succulent chicken to Chateaubriand. It doesn't lose suction. It was designed by German engineers and developed in Sweden by renowned Japanese scientists. It has over 1,700 lines of resolution. It.
I was just getting to the good part when Uncle Ernie dropped his toms. Oh, I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in Mushu heaven, and I had my eye on a spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete, just one and heartburn's done.
You're searching for that special gift, one they'll truly treasure. But how do you wrap togetherness? Or put a ribbon around a memory? Can you even put a bow on fun? You can, you will, when you surprise someone with a Carnival vacation. Carnival, the fun ships. Cool.
What's the coolest way for people on the move to pay for gas and convenience items? Speed Pass.
Cool. Really cool.
How do we know? We're drivers too. Link Speed Pass to a credit or check card you already use, and you can make one of the cool moves Ryan Newman does.
The League Championship Series on Fox, sponsored by Sprint Business. Sprint Business, yes you can, by Speed Pass. Use it at ExxonMobil. It's the coolest way to pay. By Nissan, to remind you to ship the way you move through the world. And by Lunesta. Ask your doctor if Lunesta can make a difference for you.
Let's take a look a little bit at Chris Carpenter and how he has got his strikeouts, moving the ball all over the zone. Inside, outside, two cutters there. Now a slider. Down and away, almost exclusively down in the strike zone to get all his strikeouts. For a guy who can run the ball up in the zone with four seamers, he has stayed down in the zone. Maybe a little bit afraid of those Crawford boxes out there in left.
I don't think there's any doubt that that's the reason he's pounding the bottom part of the strike zone.
Good look at our Nissan game summary. Carpenter still in, petted out. Resolunik, his first hit with runners in scoring position in this postseason. A 2-out RBI single in the St. Louis third to give them the one-run lead. Both teams have had numerous scoring chances, especially early in this game, and failed to cash in by and large. The Rocket would get the ball in Game 7. Should we get that far? We talked to Fred Biggio before this game got started. What to expect when you face Chris Carpenter, the Cardinals' 21-game winner?
If he gives you a good pitch to hit, you better hit it, because he's not going to give you another one. And he moves the ball around the zone, up and down and in and out, and he doesn't really give in to many hitters. So he's pitched us, pretty much dominated us for 3 or 4 games, and we had one good successful game off him up there. And I think in the playoffs last week we did a nice job, but we weren't able to get any big hits off him. So we're in for a battle.
Biggio and the Astros scored 1 run, 4 hits in the first 2 innings off Carpenter. In the last 4 innings, they've been shut out on only 2 base hits. Get a look at the out distribution for Carpenter tonight. Orlando Palmeiro will lead things off. 2 of 8 in his postseason after hitting .284 during the regular year. Down a strike. He'll be followed by Biggio and Burke. We brought it up earlier. Worth noting. Lance Berkman due on 4th in this inning. He has been right on everything Carpenter has flipped up there tonight. They want him coming to the plate with a chance to do damage here in the 7th. Ground ball to Eckstein. 1 away.
Probably worth noting also, Tommy, that the Astros this year only had 35 come from behind wins all season long. We talked about the difficulty that they have scoring runs. That's 19th in all of Major League Baseball.
So far in this league championship series, the Astros have outscored the Cardinals 6-1 from the 7th inning on.
Greg Biggio set a career high with his 26 home runs this year. 9 of those came on the first pitch of the at-bat.
He started, they appeal, and no, says Jerry Davis. Ball 1 to Biggio. Tapper down to Luna, the in-between hop. He let the ball play him. And Biggio is aboard for the 3rd time tonight. That'll be an error on Hector Luna.
Boy, as a third baseman, on those in-between hops, you're always better served to charge the ball, play it on that short hop off the dirt. As soon as he froze in his tracks down there, that ball was just going to eat him up all the way. Hit off the heel of his glove, it looked like, then up into his chest. It's far enough away for Biggio to reach.
Tying run aboard after the error by Luna. Told you he only played 7 games down there all year long. And now his 2nd appearance at third base in this series since the injury to Nunez. That's a roller up the first base line, picked up and thrown by Molina, and it pulls off the bag, and the home plate umpire is saying foul ball. Boy, what a huge break this could be for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Little smile. Definitely a foul ball. Great call by home plate umpire Larry Poncino. That could have been ugly.
Boy, a mistake of aggression by a young catcher. Ball clearly headed into foul territory. If he lets it go, there's no doubt about it. Let that ball roll another couple of inches. Pick it up, resume the at-bat. Molina wasn't sure himself whether that ball was fair or foul when he picked it up. As you can see, it's off the chalk. He does drag it back onto the chalk. It's kind of a puzzling play right there for the young catcher.
And those aren't replays from the same play we had last night. That's some great looks at that play, too.
Well, that becomes a tough call for the home plate umpire as the game wears on, because base runners go down that first baseline. The chalk gets knocked around. It's not a perfectly uniform stripe down that first baseline. But you could see Brown between the ball and the chalk line.
And the one thing that Molina did do was give Poncino a good look at it.
Low to Chris Burke. 2 balls and a strike. Well, we hope you've enjoyed all the sights and sounds of this National League Championship Series. We thank our crew. They work so hard. They don't just show up and all of a sudden flip on a switch and the cameras are there and they're on and everything's working right. They're working around the clock. We appreciate it. We hope you do as well. 2-1 pitch coming to Chris Burke. Carpenter, a long pause out there on the mound, and now time is called.
Well, traditionally, this is a great hit-and-run count. Burke, a guy that handles the bat well. Biggio with better than average speed at first base, and with that in mind, that's a set sign that comes from the bench, either from Dave Duncan or Tony La Russa to the catcher, to tell Chris Carpenter to just come to a set position and hold.
Runner goes, and it's fouled out of play.
But the 2 guys that are in play right now for the Astros epitomize what they're going through here in the postseason with the fun that they're having with their playoff beards. Biggio over at first base is actually growing a playoff beard. You just can't see it. And then Bert tells me every morning he shaves his, and by the game time, he's back to looking like he does right now.
2-2. Quick throw sending Biggio back to the bag. Boy, this ballpark is just ready to erupt. For those that have been following this Houston franchise since being born on this day 45 years ago, I've been waiting for a chance to play in the Fall Classic. They're down a run, 1 win away. Will tonight be their night?
As this game has progressed, Carpenter has made more and more mistakes with his breaking balls over the heart of the plate. Burke just missed one right there that hung up.
Just low. I figure Biggio's moving here on 3-2.
I think it's a pretty safe bet. I think Phil Garner has enough confidence in Chris Burke to put the ball in play.
And I think, Bobby, the only reason why those guys are missing the breaking balls is because he's been so good with his fastball down.
And there's a base hit into right field on a hit and run. And Biggio on to third.
As a hitter, when you know that runner's going to be on the move, that hole on the right side is so inviting. Clearly, Burke pulled his hands in, just tried to shoot that ball through the right side of the infield, a slow roller. Bagwell with a quick peek over his right shoulder to make sure he could go on to third base, and the Astros have it cooking here in the seventh.
Well, we talked about Berkman. He has hit 2 lasers off Carpenter tonight. A liner caught in center, a single to right center after drawing a walk his first time up. In the air, left field, it might be, it is gone! Berkman, his first home run in this National League Championship Series. Just barely into the Crawford boxes.
feet on that home run. That's a routine fly ball in a lot of ballparks in the major league, but they didn't just put that wall up before Berkman's at bat. It's been there for both teams the whole series.
Cardinals have not taken advantage of it.
You heard Brandon Backey make the comment to Lance Berkman all the way back in the second inning of this game about, I have a feeling you're going to get another big hit tonight. Boy, this place is rocking. Unquestionably the loudest park in Major League Baseball, and it ain't even close. Berkman to left field and off the wall. Sanders plays it, then drops it. Here comes Berkman. Here comes the throw, the slide, the tag, and out. Ensberg thrown out at second base.
That's the disadvantage of that left field wall. When you hit a bullet off it, it gets back to the fielder so quickly, it's hard to get a double. But we talked about Berkman being the best pure hitter on the team. Doesn't mind about going the other way on a fastball down and away from him.
And our Fox sounds of the game. More than any other person in an Astros uniform tonight, Jose Cruz Jr., their first base coach, could appreciate what a trip to the World Series would mean for this franchise. He was an outstanding player here for many, many, many years, and has served as a coach since leaving his playing days. One and one to land. Cardinals still have two more cracks at it, and they're only down two. First time all night the Cardinals have activity in their bullpen. Popped up. Edmonds has it. The 3-run home run by Berkman gives Houston a 2-run lead. Now for a sprint game break, here's Jeannie Velasco.
It is indeed the sprint game break. Here's something you don't hear about every day. In fact, it's been 46 years the White Sox are headed to the World Series after eliminating the Angels. Ozzie Guillen's club has a shot at bringing the South Side its first World Championship since 1917, in large part because of these guys. An LCS record 4 straight complete game victories. The World Series is headed to Chicago. Last year was the Red Sox. Could the shade of preference be white in 2005? Game 1 at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. For more information on the sprint game break, log on to Fox Sports.
Ford product engineers work hard. Anybody can see that. Since they need to be with the cars, we took out their desk phones and extended their workplace with Sprint Business. It's helping us shorten the time from concept to showroom, and it's easy to reach them. Dan?
Dan's going to have to call you back.
By saying yes to working from anywhere, we're building morning products faster.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Yes, you can.
Grilling. Good call. You mean steak? You rock. Hey.
Hey, Grill Master.
I don't have a grill.
Introducing Taco Bell's new Steak or Chicken Nachos Bel Grande. Grilled authentic carne asada steak or marinated all white meat chicken give Nachos Bel Grande that great flavor of the grill.
Wait, no, this... Hey, what's up?
For grilled taste that really draws a crowd, think outside the bun.
2 outs in the inning. And there's strike 2 on the bomber. What an epic battle we're witnessing. He digs back in. No, wait. What's he doing? The bomber is calling his shot.
I'm all over that.
He's pointing beyond the outfield fence.
Yeah, buddy.
Are we witnessing history? And there it goes!
Bud Light. Great taste. Great times.
What drives a man to such greatness?
Bud Light, Bud Light, Bud Light. Ooh, a hot dog.
I didn't kill that man, Michael. I was set up. Why you want to see Burroughs so bad anyhow? Because he's my brother. I'm getting you out of here. It's impossible. Just have a little faith. You've seen the blueprints. It's better than that. I've got them on me.
Why would somebody want to set you up?
No! Wait! Where are you taking me?
I can't watch him die. I won't do that. Getting through this wall is just the beginning.
Prison Break returns with a special 2-hour event 1 week from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Lance Berkman, the 3-run home run in the 7th inning to give Houston a 2-run lead. And now Mike Gallo to face Larry Walker off of Gallo's glove, picks it up, throws, and it's in time. That's going to be all for Gallo. So he made the most of his one batter.
Plantains, and I shouldn't even eat shellfish. It doesn't agree with me. It makes me bloated, and now I have this rash. I think it's spreading.
See, he has a habit of giving too much information, and that can be dangerous online, right?
Yeah, and your high-speed connection makes you even more vulnerable. But don't worry. We analyze over 1 million suspicious links a day to help protect you from phishing and identity theft.
I sleep with a nightlight. Oh, and I have overactive sweat glands.
Want a better internet? You belong at AOL.
Me? I'm a problem solver. There's a problem, I solve it. One problem I thought I'd solved? My acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn. But when I went back to my doctor, he told me over time stomach acid had damaged the lining of my esophagus. He prescribed Nexium. Said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. Nexium healed the erosion to my esophagus. And one prescription Nexium pill a day keeps me healed and relieves my heartburn. So I don't just feel better, I am better. My doctor did say other serious stomach conditions may still exist, and headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium.
Talk to your doctor about Nexium and find out if a free trial is right for you.
Even the best problem solvers need a little help sometimes.
Nexium, the healing purple pill. If you can't afford your medications, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
They're right behind me.
I see him.
Go south.
Head for the roof.
That way. I sent the package overnight.
Should be there by 8:30.
Should be there?
Trust me, he'll be there.
The most trusted color on Earth. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Dan Wheeler takes over on the mound for the Astros. Chris Burke goes from center to left. Willie Taveras now in center field. Eric Brunwood at second base. And the hero, Lance Berkman, is over at first. Strike one to Bresolanic. 5 outs. With the best bullpen in the postseason. In the air, left center field. Taveras will get it. 2 away. Lance Berkman in the 8th inning off Kyle Farnsworth. Game 4 of the division series, down 5. An opposite field grand slam. Ausmus tied it in the 9th. Burke won it in the 18th. And now tonight, down a run, 2 on. You know, people talk about that short porch, but due to the trajectory of that ball, even in any other ballpark, maybe not a home run, but at least a double.
Yeah.
Strike one to Yadier Molina.
I'm amazed that Berkman can hit balls like that and not have them tail foul. His swing is so flat through the hitting zone, he can take a ball down and away from him, lift it into the seats, and not have it tail on him.
Slow roller to Everett. He throws. Inning over. Astros back for what they hope will be the final time in this LCS, leading by a pair.
When we got married, suddenly we had 2 of everything.
They had a lot of stuff.
2 dining sets, 2 dogs.
2 car insurance companies. I'm State Farm agent Joan Royston, and this is a true story.
We had to get rid of a few things.
Yeah, mainly my thing.
He had State Farm.
She had a gecko.
I helped them compare rates and coverage.
There was no comparison.
He was right. For once.
This time, one of my things stayed.
Last year, 1.3 million drivers switched to State Farm. Call an agent today and you'll switch too.
Like a good neighbor?
State Farm is there.
From Studio C in Industry City, Davis. Our first guest needs little introduction, so ladies and gentlemen, please welcome George Hamilton.
How
sir. Please, have a seat. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. You know, I got to tell you, that TV in the green room is spectacular.
That is no TV, George. That is the award-winning Dell 42-inch HD plasma TV. And we noticed you noticing. Freddie, show the green room cam footage.
The green room cam?
Oh, yeah, we're sneaky devils here.
Look at you. Those features. That true-to-life color. You're stunning.
Yeah, the Dell plasma TV. An amazing picture and an amazing price.
Oh, the TV. I guess that TV's great, too. Spectacular.
Spectacular, George. It's a Dell!
Davis, right now, save $400 on a Dell 42-inch HD plasma TV. Plus, get free shipping. To get the most out of your home entertainment, add a Dell Media Center PC starting at only $699. It's entertainment made easy with Dell and Microsoft.
I promise.
I promise.
Chevy promises to keep building most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
I promise to deliver 9 models that start under 20 grand.
I promise fuel economy is just as important to Chevy as it is to you.
Chevy, the #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
I promise that we've lowered prices,
Added features, or redesigned 19 models.
I promise to remind you why you got your license in the first place.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise.
The League Championship Series on Fox, sponsored by Dell. It's much more than technology. It's a Dell. By the Girl in the Moon, savor the highlight. And by Chevy. Chevy and baseball, they just go together. An American Revolution. His teammates call Lance Berkman Fat Elvis.
Lovingly, of course.
Houston Astros, they will bat against a new Cardinal pitcher. Their closer, who saved game 1 despite giving up a run. Right-hander Jason Isringhausen. John Mabry takes over for Larry Walker in right field. Lane leads off an inning for the 4th time tonight. He has singled, been hit by a pitch and flied out to left field. Chris Carpenter, a magical 2005 season, 21-game winner. A 1-out error allowed Biggio to reach in the 7th. Burke with a single and a 3-2 pitch that rolled into right field for a base hit, putting him on the corners, and then Berkman touched up Carpenter for only the 2nd home run he has ever allowed in this ballpark.
When you call that Tommy Berkman was the guy that was having the best swings against Carpenter all night long, hitting the ball right on the button. The pitches that he hit earlier in the ball game were from the middle of the plate in. That time Carpenter tried to go to the outside part of the plate, and Berkman was laying all over it.
Astros playing in their 4th League Championship Series. And oh, so close. Their first 3 trips to the LCS. Many forget it was Game 5 back in 1980 when Nolan Ryan had a 5-2 lead in the 8th inning against Philadelphia and could not survive the 8th inning. The Phillies would tie the game and send it into extra innings just down the road at the Dome. Fly ball right center field. 1 away. That game went 10 innings with the Phillies winning the League Championship Series in 1988-7. Then in 86, that 16-inning marathon, a loss to the Mets in 6 games. And then last season, had a 3-2 lead going to St. Louis. The Cardinals won the final 2. There has never been a World Series game played in the Lone Star State. The Rangers have never been there since coming back in 1961. The Astros on this day, October the 17th, 45 years ago, at the Blackstone Hotel in Chicago, were granted a franchise. How ironic is that they would announce the birth of the Houston Colt 45s in the Windy City on this date 45 years ago.
Boy, and so many great players obviously retired now who played for the old Colt 45s. Suffered their growing pains as a young franchise. Bill Garner played here for the Houston Astros for a long time. All have to be enjoying this moment.
Roll 2 to Austin. On a breaking ball, swung on and fouled out of play. Look at some of the retired numbers in Astros team history. Names like Jimmy Wynn, Jose Cruz, Jim Umbrick, Mike Scott. You faced him. The great Nolan Ryan, Don Wilson, and Larry Doker, their former outstanding manager, as well as hard-throwing right-hander. Joe Morgan played here when he first came to the big leagues. Two on Ausmus. Well, one name we heard from Bill Garner had a picture on his computer of your friend and mine, Bobby, Billy Dorn. What a player he was here in Houston. Their MVP in '85.
One of the all-time gamers.
Bill Garner talked at length about what a championship would mean, or at least an appearance in the World Series would mean to this franchise. He said, heck, for the last 10 years, there are only 4 teams in baseball that have won more games than we have. But those other clubs are far more frequently talked about than the Houston Astros organization. It would validate this franchise. Ground ball to short. 2 away. 1960, Judge Roy Hoffhines and the ownership group from Houston awarded a franchise. Their expansion team in '62 changed names to the Astros with a move to the Dome in '65, managed by Harry Kraft. Played at Colt Stadium, then moved into the Dome, the 8th wonder of the world. Made 7 postseason appearances before 2004 without a single series win. And then moved to what was known as Enron Field in 2000.
That old scoreboard at the Astrodome, one of the real highlights in baseball in its time. You always hoped you had a big lead late in the game so that you could afford to give up a solo home run to an Astro hitter so you could see that scoreboard go on.
Brad Lidge planks it up in the bullpen. Cardinals will have Molina, Luna, and Mabry coming up. Got it away to Adam Everett. Of course, the Cardinals are hoping to get back to Busch Stadium.
Well, don't forget, Tony La Russa has told us at every turn his team plays as long as it takes. They played a game hard for 9 innings. They've got 3 outs left. They're not cashing anything in at this point.
If we don't get back to Busch, there will never be another game played at that ballpark. They'll move into a new stadium next year. Busch Stadium opened on May the 12th, 1966. 2-2 the count on Everett. They had the All-Star game in '66 that year, and Tim McCarver, the Cardinal catcher, scored the winning run in the 10th inning. Bob Gibson, that great '68 season, set the World Series record with 17 strikeouts in Game 1 against Detroit. Check swing roller. Lou Brock, 74, became the single-season record holder for stolen bases. '82, they celebrated the World Series win, Game 7. And Bruce Sutter struck out Gorman Thomas. And who could forget the great Jack Buck told fans to go crazy after Ozzie Smith beat the Dodgers in Game 5 of the NLCS. In the air, hit a ton down the left field line and foul. Busch Stadium hosts a 6th World Series. Talked about Gibson's 17 strikeouts. Final out in '82. Mark McGwire in 1998 bashing 70 home runs, and that's their new ballpark. Next year they played Cincinnati in the stadium's final regular season game. But Busch Stadium not quite done yet. Everett pops it up. And that will end the inning. The Houston Astros are 3 outs away from their first trip to the World Series. They will hand the ball to Brad Lidge to try and get him there.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. That is he know he won't have it, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself.
I sat there with Kevin and Jim during the most important baseball game ever. Every man in the bar was wearing his heart on his sleeve. But these two couldn't even watch, as if their whole existence was riding on the outcome. So they sat in silence, dedicating themselves to their prayers, uttering a simple, please, watching each tiny rising bubble in their Miller High Life.
Think about your family as a company.
The Clark family has reported earnings 30%
with assets to protect and grow, a financial future to be managed.
Family at 12 1/4.
At John Hancock, we now offer you a wider range of innovative investment opportunities with access to some of the world's best companies for the benefit
The Peterson family ended the day on a positive note.
of the most important one. The new John Hancock. Investments for the opportunities, insurance for the unexpected.
On DVD, they're undead and unstoppable.
Zombies, they creep me out.
On the DVD that's uncut and unrated.
That's our way out.
George A. Romero's Land of the Dead. Own the unrated director's cut on DVD Tuesday.
When I look back on everything, I see over 100 years of history. 100 years of moments. Moments we savor with the champagne of beers. Because that's when you shine. And when you shine, I shine. I'm the girl on the moon. And I want to tell you everything I know. Everything there is to savor. Everything.
Houston leads 4-2. Top of the 9th inning. Leading this National League Championship Series. 3 games to 1, and Brad Lidge gets the ball.
Lidge gave up a couple of base hits in his appearance last night. You may remember the great play, Ensberg throwing home to retire an out at home, and then the tremendous double play to end the ball game. This is the first time you've seen him in this series. Fastball in the upper 90s and just a devastating slider.
Johnny Rodriguez to lead things off, batting for Hector Luna. Big swing and a miss. Rodriguez can hit. We saw him jump all over a pitch from Dan Wheeler here last night to straightaway center after Edmonds had been thrown out of the game.
He came into the ball game with a 3-2 count, fouled off a couple of very tough pitchers' pitches, and then smoked one to straightaway center.
1-1. High fastball, 1-2. Struck him out. Picked up by Ausmus. And a throw to first. 1 away. Tonight's Chevrolet Player of the Game, Lance Berkman. In recognition of his outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Chevy on American Revolution.
Situations before, and that's about as articulate as you can get. Your emotions just come flooding over you. You realize what's at hand. Hard to put into words.
This Astros team, 15 games under 500 at the end of May. Only the second team in the history of baseball, the other being the 1914 Boston Braves, to be 15 under during the course of the regular season and still reach the playoffs. 1-2. Bob, you and I were in Arizona. They only had to wait 4 years to win a World Series championship in the desert. Almost impossible to put into words those that have followed this franchise over the last 45 years.
And more recently, the guys like Craig Biggio, who have been with this team for 18 years. Jeff Bagwell, the faces of this organization.
They're 1 out away. Series will begin Saturday, game 1 in Chicago. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific.
I'll tell you, these fans erupted out of their seat when Lance Berkman's home run landed in the bleachers out there in the 7th inning, and they haven't sat back down since.
Lidge to David Eckstein. Ball 1 away. Edmonds in the on-deck circle, hoping for a chance to come up representing the tying run. From Brad Lidge. Is strike 2. A strike away and an out away. They like everything big in Texas. They're ready for a big bash tonight. On the ground and a base hit into left field by Eckstein. So Edmonds will come to bat, representing the tying run here in the 9th inning. Boy, how about Eckstein?
He's just not going to give up an at-bat. It doesn't matter whether it's a B game in spring training or an elimination game here in the LCS. He is going to grind and give you everything he's got every minute he has that uniform on.
Jim Edmonds hit 29 home runs during the regular season. He has 1 home run in this postseason. That was in game 1 against San Diego. They let Eckstein take second base, and it's ball 1 on Jim Edmonds. Edmonds, a flair for the dramatic, has had huge hits in his career when the Cardinals have needed him most. Check swing and a miss. Edmonds, in fact, has 6 career game-winning RBIs in this ballpark. I can't win it with one swing of the bat, but he can tie it. Nearly hit with that pitch. And you know who's waiting on deck. The last time a team overcame a 2-run deficit in the 9th inning in an LCS game came in Game 7 in '92 when Atlanta beat the Pirates to advance to the World Series. Fastball in. 3-1 now on Edmonds.
I look for Edmonds to take this 3-1 pitch right here. Even though he's a very aggressive hitter, he's capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Lidge is maybe getting a little ahead of himself out there.
To Jim Edmonds, and Lidge delivers. He takes ball 4, and now Albert Pujols will come to the plate representing the go-ahead run. Bill Garner going to come out to the mound and visit with Lidge. You can't say enough about this Cardinal team either. Won 100 games during the regular season, just ran away from all the competition in the Central, the Astros included. They've lost back-to-back one-run games here in Houston after splitting the first 2 games of this series. You've been in this position, Bob Brentley. What's he saying to his pitcher right now?
Well, I think he's just trying to get him to refocus on making his pitches. As I mentioned, it looked like Lidge was getting a little ahead of himself. He was just rearing back and overthrowing the ball, trying to put an end to this ball game and a beginning to the celebration. I'm sure Phil Garner went back out there to remind him, hey, you have to execute your pitches. He told us before the game today, you can tell when Brad Lidge is right when he's throwing his fastball at the knees on the outside corner, because that's also the release point he needs to throw that devastating slider off of the edge of the plate. Lidge overthrowing the last couple pitches, missed way in and up on Jim Edmonds, and now has to deal with one of the best hitters in the game.
Pujols tonight 0 for 4. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of that pitch.
I would expect to see all sliders in this at bat from Brad Lidge. I wouldn't risk throwing a fastball up there to one of the best fastball hitters in the game.
0-1 to Pujols. In the air, left field, and Pujols has given St. Louis the lead. A dramatic, towering 3-run home run. Stunned in disbelief here in Houston. A single by Eckstein, a walk to Edmonds, and how about Albert Pujols?
He got the slider, but it was not a good slider. Stayed right over the middle of the plate. He nearly knocked that left field wall down out there behind the Crawford boxes. I mean, that's the best extension we've seen from Pujols in this series. He has no doubt that ball's headed out of here. Boy, the collective intake of breath turned this place into a vacuum when that ball came off the bat of Albert Pujols.
Soon as it left the bat, there was no debate about it. Pujols walking up the line to watch it.
Well, Pujols will get the credit for hitting the 3-run home run, but a huge tip of the cap to David Eckstein for his battling at bat, getting a base hit. Then Jim Edmonds, very patient, draws a walk to get the big guy to the plate.
Well, this guy, we talked about him the entire series. If there's anybody better in the game today, I have no idea who that would be. If you were to walk around and ask any general manager, any scout, if you could start one team today with one player, where would it begin? Pujols would be the answer 95% of the time. Now the Astros have to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning. I mean, bear in mind, they took Craig Biggio out of this game for defense in the 8th inning. So he's no longer available. Strike 3 call. With 2 outs in the top of the ninth, down 2. The amazing Albert Pujols gives St. Louis a lead with 1 swing in the bat.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football, unless it's football. Now, a win's a win, a loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it, because it's 90 feet to first, no matter where home is.
When my allergies get really bad, I feel like I'm in a fog. But I still want to enjoy doing the things I love, like taking pictures. Now I'm Claritin Clear. That means I'm staying in control of my allergies and staying alert. Only Claritin is actually proven to make you as alert and focused as someone without allergies. Claritin gives me non-drowsy relief from my worst sneezing, runny nose, and itchy eyes for 24 hours. Got it? 24-hour non-drowsy Claritin. Live Claritin Clear.
Okay, so you shave early, but your date isn't until 7 p.m. So what do you think your beard's doing? Taking a nap? It's not. That's why there's Schick Quattro Midnight. With 4 blades, nothing shaves closer, keeping you smooth into the night. Schick Quattro Midnight. Nothing beats the power of 4. And try the new Schick Quattro Power for a less irritating shave than your current razor. New Schick Quattro Power. Turn on the power of 4.
Are those voodoo dolls?
Mm-hmm. This one's overages, and I call this one roaming.
You know, with Sprint's fair and flexible plans, there are no huge overages or roaming charges, so you're in control.
So they worked.
Now I'm gonna make one for loneliness.
Sprint's new fair and flexible plans. With no huge overages or roaming charges, you control your plan. It doesn't control you. Plans start at just $29.99 a month. Sprint. Yes, you can.
Albert Pujols, his team down to their final out. A dramatic 3-run home run to give St. Louis a lead here in Game 5. It came off Brad Lidge, who had dominated the St. Louis Cardinals over the last 2 postseasons.
This was one of those cement mixer sliders that never really took the break, just kind of spun up there in the heart of the plate. Albert Pujols is not going to let you make very many mistakes without crushing the ball.
Willie Tavares will bat to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning. And Lidge knew it right away.
You just know from the sound.
Slow roller right side, foot race to the bag, and sliding in there is Pujols in time, 1 away.
That was a big home run. We've talked about the Crawford boxes and how easy they are to reach in this series. That ball's in the upper deck of every ballpark in the major leagues.
Jose Vizcaíno will come on the bat for Eric Bruntlett. Well, therein always lies a danger when you start making defensive changes. It worked beautifully last night for Phil Garner. And with a 2-run lead and Lidge coming into the game, you can understand why he did it again tonight. But what it means when you do it, if the other teams do what Pujols just did. One of your best hitters is sitting and watching the rest of the game. Cardinals 2 outs away from playing again at Busch Stadium. And a fastball is high to Vizcaíno. Fouled away, and it's 1-2. Burke would be next. We get any further than that, and again, it's Lance Berkman.
I think if you'd asked Tony La Russa, if you had 2 outs in the 9th inning and we're trying to start a rally, who do you want up there at the plate? It's going to be David Eckstein, because he's the guy that refuses to give away at bats. He'll get hit by a pitch. He'll take a walk. He'll punch the ball into play somewhere and beat it out at first base, and that's exactly what he did.
2-2 to Jose Vizcaíno. What a dramatic turn of events. You couldn't hear a thing in this building after Lidge has struck out back-to-back batters in the 9th inning. They'd gotten ahead 2 strikes on Eckstein, who then banged a base hit into left field. Edmonds, very patient, took the walk, bringing Pujols to the plate. And bang! St. Louis in front.
Big bang.
A big bang that hit the mute button at the same time. Roller foul. The best of the best seem to step up when it matters most. And Pujols, in just his 3rd postseason, again delivers a good. 2-2. Pulled at Pujols. 2 away in the 9th. To go in a 1-run game, should there be a game 6 at Busch Stadium. We'll have it at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox Wednesday night from Busch. Roy Oswalt, Mark Mulder, a rematch of game 2.
Don't start swinging that wrecking ball just yet.
Chris Burke, the hero in the 18th inning during the division series, looks at a strike on the outside corner.
Should see everything on the outside corner in this at bat. Burke's got good pop to left field, but not the kind of power that can hurt you to the opposite field.
The Astros, up until that 9th inning, including this year's postseason, were 82-1 when leading at the end of 8 innings. In the air, right center field, pretty well hit. Taguchi is there, and the Cardinals, with a stunning Game 5 victory on the 9th inning, 3-run home run by Albert Pujols, will indeed take the field again at Busch Stadium. What an unbelievable finish to this one in Houston.
But Tony La Russa has told us about this year's version of the Cardinals, that they just don't know when to quit. They play hard for 9 innings or extra innings if that's what it takes. No better example than what they were able to do in this ball game with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Bring together a base hit by David Eckstein, a tough at bat for Jim Edmonds, drawing a walk to get their big boy to the plate, and he delivered in a big way.
We thank our producer of tonight's game, Jeff Gowan, our director, Jim Lynch, our associate producer, Carol Langley McDermott, our associate director, Eric Billigmeyer, our broadcast associates, Jeremy Green and Mike Fox, our technical producer, Dan Rotante, and our technical director, Jeff Butler. And we give a special thanks again to our tireless crew. Senior producer of Talk Sports is Bill Brown. Executive producers David Hill and Ed Corin. And up in the booth, we thank statisticians Hal Galima, Mark Wagner, Scott Snyder. In a 5-4 St. Louis win here in Game 5. Let's go downstairs to Patrick O'Neill with tonight's hero.
Well, he's considered one of, if not the best hitters in baseball. Tonight you did it against one of the best closers in baseball, Brad Lidge. What was the pitch? And, man, you just crushed it.
It was a slider. I mean, that's his main weapon. And I just want to get a good pitch to him out there and don't try to be a hero. You know, just try to get something going. Hopefully don't make the last out. You know, with a guy like that, if you try to do too much, I mean, he's going to out-batter you, you know. And it was a good pitch to him. Just put in my best swing. I just thank God, you know, they give me the strength to do. And I'm just glad we go to St. Louis, you know, and keep playing in our old stadium.
That's right. You're going back to St. Louis. They're not going to close that stadium just yet. Your manager, Tony La Russa, just said something to you in a hug. What did he tell you?
No, he just told me the great Pujols. But this is not over, man. They're going to be ready to go in St. Louis. And we just need to win 2 before we lose 1.
Tell me about David Eckstein getting that rally started.
It's unbelievable. With 2 outs, I mean, that guy, I know he's not swinging the bat good. Nobody is in our team right now. And getting that big hit with 2 outs right there, and Jimmy getting that big walk, I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, it's not over until you don't make 27 outs.
Well, congratulations. Amazing hit. You crushed it. Took the air out of the building. Thank you very much. Albert Pujols didn't want to be the hero, but he was tonight. Let's go back upstairs to Tom.
So, we pack our bags. Enjoy an off day tomorrow and get back it from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Right here on Fox, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Wednesday night. Game 6 of this National League Championship Series. What a remarkable finish. The Pujols home run to win it for the Redbirds. Jeannie and Kevin along after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. See you Wednesday.
Clean up on aisle 3.
House is TV's unlikeliest new hero. Can't we just agree that you're incredibly annoying? He's medicine's most brilliant mind.
Get the crash card. He's having a cardiac arrest.
And the hospital's toughest case.
Are you being intentionally dense?
Huh? House returns with all new episodes Tuesday, November 1st on Fox. Viewer discretion advised. Sometimes reality television
Whatever it is, you giving me? I give it up to God. I'm a God warrior.
gets too real.
I'll play that season. I will see the horrors. Get out of my house.
The most compelling footage
Gargoyle! Like it!
ever caught on tape.
And I don't want someone heinous doing anything with my family!
Trading Spouses, Meet Your New Mommy returns with the mother of all meltdowns.
No!
Wednesday, November 2nd on Fox.
Next on Fox 2 News, kick up your heels. This local kid is working his way into the record book. Metro Detroiters hoping to score a cheap gallon of gas, get an expensive traffic ticket instead. And lots of zingers tonight during the mayoral debates. The news is next.
I promise. I promise. The all-new Chevy Impala gets an estimated 31 highway miles per gallon.
And has more standard horsepower and interior room than Camry and Accord.
Chevy, the #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now, GM employees can lease an 06 Impala LS for $219 a month. Residency restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise.
Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealer today.
Hi, this is my credit union. As a member, I'm also an owner, so they treat me way better than a bank. They help me save money with better rates and lower fees. 2 years ago, I graduated from college. Today, I'm on my way to financial moguldom. Anyone can join a credit union, so find yours at lovemycreditunion.org. Maybe it's time for a car loan.
One strike away from the World Series.
David Eckstein, the battler of the heart and soul of this ball club, gets him started with the base hit. Jimmy Evans take a big walk right here. And then Albert Pujols, not the guy you want to see in a game-winning situation.
Not the pitch you want to see.
Wow. A 3-run blast by Albert Pujols. The best hitter in Major League Baseball. The walk really set that up. And even David Eckstein, you got to give him some props. And then Isringhausen in the game in a double switch. 2 innings in relief. Gets it done to finish it off. Chris Burke, we go back to St. Louis, Jeannie. Great drama here. in the postseason. A tremendous comeback for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Cardinals have not lost 4 in a row all season. If that would have happened, they would have been going to the offseason. That was not meant to be, and now everybody is headed back to St. Louis.
You know what happens? Yes, the Cardinals are down 3 games to 2, but right now they got the momentum. They've got the edge. They're going back home, and that's the way you have to look at it. But the good news for the Astros, they got a veteran on the mound right behind Roy Oswalt that goes 7 games. Oswalt will go game 6. Clemens.
Yeah, they're still 1 victory away with now 2 chances to do it instead of 3. We got more highlights coming your way right after this.
Here she is. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Guys, you better hurry. Hi, girl. Welcome to the world, little fella.
Fox NFL Sunday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, this week in HD.
Clean up on aisle 3.
House is TV's unlikeliest new hero.
Can't we just agree that you're incredibly annoying?
He's medicine's most brilliant mind.
Get the crash guard. He's having a cardiac arrest.
And the hospital's toughest case.
Are you being intentionally dense?
Huh? House returns with all new episodes Tuesday, November 1st on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Fat Albert with the bat, but first the glove, Kevin.
Yeah, in the second inning right here. Nice play by Albert Pujols to backhand this ball to the ball of Molina, and a tremendous play by Molina going the other way to put the tag on, Jeannie.
And for Craig Biggio said, I've waited 18 seasons to try to see the World Series. I'm going to make something happen here, scoring Brad Ausmus.
Top to third base is loaded right here, 2 outs. Mark Grudzielanek finally gets a base hit, couple runs on the board. It looked like that might be enough for Chris Carpenter. He pitched deep into the ball game. Chris Carpenter was cruising. Chris Burke goes down swinging. Runner Chris Carpenter strikes out Morgan Ensberg.
Mike Lamb can't do anything about it, so the Cardinals have a 2-1 lead. But wait, there's more.
More dramatics. We saw Berkman hit the grand slam against the Braves. How about this? Almost the same spot. 3-run home run this time off of Chris Carpenter in the 7th inning. And with Brad Lidge coming into the ballgame, Jeannie.
He thought it was a done deal.
Done.
The Astros had only lost 1 game all season when they took the lead into the 9th. We can make that 2 now.
Right call as far as the slider, just bad execution. One of the flat ones. He doesn't throw too many of them. He threw one to the wrong guy. And we go back to St. Louis.
The call to the pen. Here's what we're looking at.
Mark Mulder, 7 innings pitched in his game 2 start, 8 hits, couple of walks, 6 Ks. Roy Oswalt was dominant in his start. It's going to be up to Roy not to have to turn that ball over to Roger Clemens for a game 7.
We've got a game 6, and the White Sox are waiting one more day. And Ozzie, I know you're out there saying, go ahead. Throw the starters out there. Use the pen. I don't care. Get tired. Game 1 of the World Series Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. But first things first, we've got a game 6 coming up. We've got a day to rest on Tuesday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Momentum has completely shifted.
Question.
You could just feel the vibe. The win went out of the ballpark.
No doubt about that. They got to go in. They got 2 chances, like you said, to win one. They got Oswalt on the mound.
Don't level the stadium just yet. There will be at least one more game at Busch. Promotional consideration paid for by
Watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD, and presented by DirecTV. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, and NASCAR.
3, 2, 1, see ya.